So I always tell chat whether they're here or not. Um, I will be ignoring you for most of this chat. If you have questions later on, that's up to you. But I want to give my attention to Versais. So first of all, welcome in Versais. Please tell me I'm saying your name right because I don't want to sound like an idiot right now. Beautiful. Really. Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the things that I was like I always feel bad about like double checking because I remember I like with Vit his whole thing is Vitrake, and I like was like, hey Vitrake, and he's like, you can just say Vit, it's a lot easier. Like, oh, okay, thank God. I don't want to sound like an idiot like halfway through this entire interview. um okay. Yeah, I think I've just been so much around him where it's just like he doesn't really care anymore because he knows he's got such a unique name. Like for me, like you don't know how many times I've gone into people's like chats or they've like, oh hey, what's up, Mimi? And I'm like, okay, yeah, cool, close enough. You got the letters and the name right, close enough. uh, yeah, yeah, exactly. You got it right off the bat, which I was like, oh, thank God, this is great. But welcome in first of all. Glad to have you here. And I've been saying this to a lot of my close friends about when I've been talking about this podcast. This is probably for me one of the most exciting interviews I have. Not because it's like a newer person, I get to know them, but a little bit of background from what I understand about you. Not only did you recently get Twitch affiliate, but you also got not TikTok, Kick affiliate. I'm getting like two words mixed up. But you've also been uploading to TikTok. I don't know if you've been uploading to any other social medias because I just like go from what you say on your tweets, and I've been following you and all that. So first of all, what is it like being an affiliate for both sides now? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Follow thing, and I didn't know any better, and I that's what I did. So
Yeah.
that's literally how I got affiliate on Kick.
So
And
you're fresh, like fresh baby fresh, like March this year kind of fresh.
yep, yep, I
Wow.
just started like learning so much about all of this, and it's kind of overwhelming. It took me a while. I've been thinking about doing it for months, but
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those things where I was like,
You don't know. You're kind of like,
I'm yeah, I'm like, who would really who would want to watch me? Who really wants to
mm-hmm.
listen to anything I have to say? But then I just jumped into it and I was like, what do I really have to lose except, maybe more confidence.
Oh my
um,
gosh.
right?
So so
Um,
so the backstory of this for the podcast, I remember I think either someone rated into you or someone shared your link because you said you were going live and all that, and I popped right in. And I remember you were streaming Fortnite for the first time, and you were doing solos, and you got that dub. And I remember the chat was just a little bit like laggy behind, so I'm like, I even said, chat, like, sorry if my messages seem off. It's a little bit delayed, but I'm here. I'm here for it. Um, it's just been a wild ride for you, hasn't it?
it really has. But it's been great. I feel like I've met so many really cool people that have helped me and have been super nice in welcoming me into the scene and everything. And I really haven't had to deal with many negative comments. I think once when I made my um thank you post after I got my after I did my first Twitch affiliate stream,
Hmm.
and I was like, I never expected to get this many subs, which was literally from like friends, like real life friends and people that I've met along the way here. And someone was like, well, you're wearing a low cut shirt. And I was like, I guess my close friends like that. I don't know. I don't know what that had to do with anything.
so
But
so
thank you for
you so
noticing.
you have not only the people that you met through streaming, the internet, and all that, but you have close IRL friends who've also been supporting you through this, right?
Only a couple. So when I go into Twitch, sometimes I have a friend that will pop in every once in a while,
Mm-hmm.
but not many. Yeah, I've tried to get some of my like in real life, like my husband supports me, but I've tried to get some of my in real life friends to
Mm-hmm.
come and even make a Twitter. And I'm like, first of all, even not for me, like you'd be amazing on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, yeah, no. And, it's kind of like one of those things where like, I don't know why you're doing this. And I'm like, well, it's helped me so far in my real job. Like I get incredible anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And this has helped me, like, even though I've been working at the place I've been working for 2 years, just streaming alone, even with a small amount of people, it's easier for me to present to my team, which is literally what's required of me because I am like basically a lead on my team.
Right. Yeah. I will say that for me, I had a background where I went to ministry school. Not many people know about this. So there's a lot of preaching we did. There's a lot of, and I did a lot of music. So there's a lot of on stage work that I did, and I will contribute that on stage time for those years to really helping me feel comfortable with streaming and all that. Because I know people who I personally think at the time would have been great streamers, but they're like, oh, I don't want to be watched or judged or looked at people. Like I don't want people doing this or seeing me like this. And I'm like, all right, like, I get it. Trust me. Because like when I first started playing music, I had like stage fright. I was a bassist, and I literally hid in a corner in the shadows because I was like, just don't look at me. I'll play the music, just don't look at me. Look at the singer or something like that. And I remember I had one bad day of stage fright where somebody just, I don't know why, they just kept looking at me. I had to like look down the entire time because I was like, every time I looked up, this one dude would just like stare at me, and I couldn't tell if he was staring at me or in that just general direction, but it made me freak out, and I was just like, nope, nope. But it was just one of those things where it helped me grow to where I am today, and I like hearing this that streaming, even though it was scary at first and you weren't really sure, it's actually helped you with like your IRL job with presenting and feeling comfortable speaking up. With that being said, what is it like being on, let's start with the Kick side, like what's it like for you with Twitter, all that you met through people through Kick? What's it like for you being on Kick right now?
Pretty great on Kick. I mean, I don't have like a super large community, obviously, because I'm still super new,
Mm-hmm.
but everyone that comes in is always hype and talkative, and it's been good. I mean, it still gives me anxiety. I don't sit for as long before I hit go live, but I
Mm-hmm.
still question it, and it's still, for me, it's still a lot like mentally and still really overwhelming. And I still have thoughts some days where I'm like, I don't know if I should keep doing this. Not because of the viewer count, not because I don't get subs. It's just like it could be mentally draining, especially for someone who is um introverted, and I'm very introverted, until I get to know people. And it's harder, through typing to get to know people because you have to like,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of stuff you have to remember about each person. And I am horrible because I can barely remember what I had for breakfast most mornings. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm supposed to remember what this person said to me and not get it mixed up with that. And, then you have to stay active on social media. And
Mm-hmm.
even before, like when I had just a Facebook, um, and had family, like I just on there,
Mm-hmm.
I was not active. I just, I would just scroll through, and now it's something that's required of you. Like you have to be active, especially if you want to grow
Mm-hmm.
and all that. And some days I'm like, man, some days I can't get past more than like, here's a like. I like what you said, but I don't have the energy to engage with you.
No, and that's a very real statement. Like even for me, like when I like how you brought up Facebook because that's the same thing for me. Like Facebook, I felt like is more like a family connection site at this point. Like I have friends and families that connect on there, but like I personally like I have a Facebook. I only use Messenger to message like certain people, but I don't really go on there because of just how emotionally and like mentally demanding it was. And I get over here to Twitter, and there are days where I just don't post anything. I'm just like, I like just engaging in tweets. It's like, like, oh my gosh, like what the hell is going on? You people talk too much. Holy shit! Like, don't you like watch TV or something? Like, holy shit! Like, I love it, but I also don't at the same time because like you're right. Like with streaming, even just starting off, it can be overwhelming because you have these kind of like preconceived notions like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to tweet this, I got to do this, I got to, post a TikTok, I got to do all this stuff. And it may just it seems like a lot because it is. Like it took me a good like year and a half before I found like a rhythm that suits me, and I still don't even follow my own rhythm because half the time like, oh, I'm gonna do something different, and then I just fall off the face of the earth for like a week.
Yeah.
But it happens. Like I think that's one of the things that we misconstrue with, which is even just Twitter. Let's just talk about Twitter for a second. Like I see people who stream like 7 days a week, have a full time job, and tweet nonstop, and I still don't understand how they have any kind of time and or energy to do all this. Like it's wild.
I know. I wish they'd share their secrets because you know what? I tried that when I first started streaming. I was streaming on both Kick and Twitch every single day. And
Mm-hmm.
I work a full-time job. I work
Mm-hmm.
4 10. So I would get up at like 5 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
and I wouldn't get off until 4. And then I would stream at like 9:30, and I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't stop until like midnight. And I was like going to the gym, and I have kids. Like I have a whole
Mm-hmm.
like all of these like things going in, and I burnt out. Like I almost just quit. So I was like, man, like I can't even catch up on sleep to
Oh
do
yeah.
this. So then I had to like create a schedule, and even it still gets hard because it still overlaps with my work schedule. And I'm like, if I stream any less, I'm already only streaming for like a couple hours a night. Like if I stream any less, like what's the point of streaming?
I will say this, like from my personal perspective, this is just my opinion. Don't care about how long you stream or don't care about how many times you stream. Stream about when you have the energy mentally and physically and emotionally to go live. That is one of the things I learned the hard way. There are days where I'll get off of a 12-hour shift and I'm like, man, I really got to stream. I got to stick to this schedule, this, and that. And I just burn out and I'm just not there in the chat. I'm not there for the stream. And there are days like even when I tried to stream when I was depressed and I'm just like, what am I doing? And streaming when depressed is like a dual edged sword. You might get some days where you're like, your friends come in, they're pouring in that love, and it's maybe that upbeat moment you get. But then there's moments where like they might not be there because they have their lives or whatever, and you start getting self conscious. You start thinking about, oh, what about this? Oh, what about that? Oh, so on and so forth. Oh, I'm not getting the viewers. Oh, I'm not getting this. Oh, it's just too much, and then you just feel even more defeated before you even hit that live button. So if I can give you any kind of advice, don't feel the need to stream every single day as you can. I always tell people you want to take a minimum of like at least 1 to 2 days just for you, yourself, your family, everything like that. Because here's in the reality of it, not every streamer that we look at successfully streams every single day of their life. Like some of the most successful streamers stream just 5 days, Monday through Friday, and then have their weekends off because that's their full time job. People like us who have full time jobs and do this for a passion, like we need to balance not only wanting to do this as a passion or as a hobby, but we also need to balance ourself. And I think that's the most important thing is that like with the grind, we get so caught up in wanting to grow and do things and be at that next level, but we also have to take care of ourselves physically, mentally, and emotionally. Like I can only imagine what it's like for you, not only as a parent trying to like take care of your child, take care of, your husband, and then trying to get live and just have enough energy just to be there to play your game or be with chat and all that. Like it's probably just a mental toll and an emotional toll right before you hit live. I can only imagine.
It is. And you know what? You're right when you spoke about depression. Like it is hard because I struggle with that too, like super bad. And some days are so difficult. And I try that's even though like I tell people like I'm there for them because I am. I want people to feel like, if they don't have anyone to talk to, like you can talk to me. But I try not to say that, like, especially right before I go live, because I don't
Mm-hmm.
want people to think like, oh, she's depressed. She just wants people to come in there and that's why she's making the post. Also, I have anxiety. So they probably
Mm-hmm.
don't think that, but like I have anxiety, so that's what I think. But it's true because I worry about things that I typically don't worry about on like a normal night. But if I'm
Mm-hmm.
having like a really low day, and you're right, like some of my connections that I've met since then, they have lives. They have to stream, they have to do their jobs, they have to take care of their families.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can't be in my chat and like my viewer count is lower, I'm like it gets to me on those days where I'm already feeling low and I'm feeling depressed and I'm like, why did I do this? And then it's just more mentally draining.
Mm-hmm. And that's another thing I like that you brought up was just like even though streaming is fun and streaming to a lot of people can be a hobby slash passion slash future business endeavor, like it's hard, especially when you first start off, to not look at the numbers or not think about the numbers. Like it took me even to like this year, I still like will get to points where I'll stream and I'm like, yeah, it was a bad day, whatever, and I'm just kind of like in my head for like the rest of the night. But then I have to realize is that like at the end of the day, like there are going to be bad days. Just like in work, there's going to be bad days at work. There's going to be bad days in life, and it's not like we're not saying we can't have bad days, but we should be taking those bad days and realizing that this is part of what's going to be happening. And even to this day, I'll have like days like that where I'm having like a low average count, or nobody really came in, or like I said, I'm trying to stream when depressed and it's not really working, and my heart will just sink and I'm just like, why am I even here? Like, why am I even doing this? And then I have to like go back into like my mental notes, like, listen, I've been through worse days. I've been through worse days streaming, content creation. I've been there when there was no views. I've been there when there was like nobody talking, no followers, no affiliation, nothing. And it's just a wild ride to see how Twitter, social media, and the streaming world is when I first started streaming for you now, and how different it was. Like when I started streaming back in, oh God, this is going to age me, 2018, when I first started. I didn't know anything about social media. I didn't know anything about networking or connecting. And I like was having fun doing it because I used to work night shift, and I used to do it like my wife at the time would be playing her Xbox game and I'd be playing my game on the PC, and we'd just be right in the same room together. And I just kind of like got self defeated at one point. I was just like, I don't know. I'm just not, it's just too much and I'm just not knowing what I'm doing. And I have nobody to really support me, kind of guide me. I felt like I was lost and I didn't know what I was doing. I just felt like I just didn't want to do it. So 2 years later, when COVID first hit, I was doing schooling online and I was just like, okay, well, I got a bunch of free time now because of COVID. I'm gonna try taking it up seriously again. And I had buddies who were in the streaming world, like that I met through work, that were trying to give me tips and tricks and all that. And then I started meeting people. People started coming into chats, and I started meeting, just some of my closest best friends who I've been friends with now for like literally 3 years now. And those people have really changed my life for this kind of stuff. And these are the moments that I have to like remember. Because like when I first started, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and every time I made a tweet or a post or whatever, no one really engaged because I didn't know what to do. And what I've been called, like the last two podcasts, I've been calling this age of Twitter like the golden era for kick streamers and like smaller streamers. Because like anytime you will post a going live or whatever, you will have like so many of these amazing people just retweeting it, liking it, getting it out there to support you and keep it growing, because they know what it's like to be there when there was like nothing. I have
Yeah.
never seen in my years of streaming this hardcore of a community on Twitter for kick streamers. Like it's wild. It is literally a golden era. And it's a nice thing to see. I love to see just people being like, hey, I might be going live and they might be just like browsing Twitter while live and like, oh, tweet, retweet, go, like this tweet, go. And that gets more impressions and more people start seeing it. And more people get to know you. And that's how, and just, it's just wild to see just the connections of people just wanting to support one another.
Yeah. I obviously wasn't around before all that.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel like, how it is right now is truly wonderful. Like the amount of people that will retweet and share you with their communities, because they don't have to. They don't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And even though like it's it's like competitive but not competitive, because like everyone's trying to get somewhere, but there's not a ton of people that are like so competitive that they're trying to knock you down to get there. They're like, I'm gonna support you and I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
help you grow. Because like you said, like they know what it was like to be, have no viewers at all. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I try to host other people, like unless it's someone that I've connected with. I always try to host people or raid or whatever it's called for
Yeah,
kick
yeah, yeah, yeah.
people, like lower viewer counts, because I'm like, let me share my community with you
Mm-hmm.
and give you that like boost of happiness. But I also, like, when it comes to the view count, I try to remind myself, like, oh, like when I start feeling down, like maybe, I don't know, 5 people, I'm like, man, like there's only 5 people here, like that's not a lot. I'm like, in the online world, like no, maybe that's not a lot, but if 5 people just walked through my office door and stood around me to watch me play video games, I would have a panic attack. And I remind myself of that, like, it even if it's 3 people, even if it's 36, like, all these people took time to come to my page and, like, watch me, and if they
Hmm.
were in my bedroom, I would freak out.
I think that's one of the things that I kind of like about like streaming is that you really don't have to once you like start streaming and you get like kind of more comfortable into it, you don't have to really think about them being physically there. Like if I thought about 20 people just physically in my room watching me play video games trying to talk to me or sit there and watch it all the time, I'd have a panic attack. I'd be like I'm like get the fuck out of my room right now. Go do something else. Uh,
Exactly.
but they get to do this in the luxury of their homes or wherever they're at, and they get to just take their time chatting or just watching. Like I remember playing with like my brother. Like he'd played the N64 with our neighbor, and I would just sit there. They're playing like GoldenEye or they're playing like Mario or whatever, and I'm just sitting there watching and just enjoying what's happening because they're talking shit to each other, they're having fun, they're poking at each other, and that's kind of like how I view streaming almost is that like it's like playing video games as like the participant but also as a chatter. It's like being in that room again with other people and your friends. You're just in a group setting and watching them play video games and just watching them just talk shit, have fun, banter, cuss at the enemy, all that. It like reminds me almost of the nostalgia of just being around people, but for me, and I probably assume you, the anxiety of being near so many people, which can be just socially draining, emotionally draining, and just mentally just done. Because like you said, you're an introvert. I'm an introvert too. I love just being inside. I love being in my close little community, little corner kind of thing at times. I don't mind being social here and there, but when I'm social, like after like a couple hours, I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm done. Get me out of here. It's like the party's still like another 3 hours. Yeah, that's nice. I don't care. See you later. Bye. I'm gonna go get in my sweatpants. I'm gonna go get McDonald's and I'm gonna go, do whatever I do.
Exactly. You got to recover from all of that. I think it's super hard for introverts. It
Hmm.
could be hard for extroverts too. I don't know, but I think they have it easier than us.
I think I like to view when I talk about introverts and extroverts for streaming. I think introverts have an easier time because they don't even have to turn on a camera. Like I know so many streamers who either do a VTuber or they just talk and they don't have a camera and they can just be socially comfortable because like I can look however I want, I can be however I want, I can still play games. And these people who are naturally introverted have probably been playing games for so long that for them that they're just talking to somebody else like they met in a game and it's no big deal because they don't have to physically be there. Extroverts, I feel like they have to kind of keep their energy up and going, and I know so many extroverts who stream and like when I watch their streams and I just see like the lights are going off, the music blasting, half of them are, twerking for subs because it's funny. I'm just like, I don't know how you do that. I just got winded watching you do this, bro. I don't know how you keep that up.
I know. And it's funny because I try not to like, compare myself to some of them because I go into quite a few streams where it's just hype all the time, like Bits
Mm-hmm.
and you know Logies and Tipsies and Bubba's. Like I watch him
Mm-hmm.
like every morning because I'm if I don't watch something, I'm gonna fall back asleep. And he's just like excited all the time, like super loud, and I'm like, how? Because you got a job too.
Mm-hmm.
You just got off of it. Like how do you have so much energy? And like I can't find any energy. And I'm like, the whole time I'm like, I'm probably boring. And then they'll come into my chat and I'm like, oh my, I'm like, well, now I have anxiety because, it's not going to be anything like your guys's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like I get the same way too. Like I'll work my, like I said, you do 410s, I do 410s as well. So I'll do my 10 or 11 hours on shift. I'll get home, I'm exhausted. And like there's some days where like I'll be in a call with friends, we'll be playing games, and the only energy I'll get is from the rage I get from playing Call of Duty or from yelling at my friends because they're like halfway across the map. And I'm like, where the fuck did you go? And they'll be like, what do you mean? I'm right here. And I'm like, oh my God, no, you're not. I'm gonna beat you, child. Just kind of one of
Oh my
those
God, do
moments.
they tell you to look at the map too? They're
Yes,
like, just look at
yes.
the map behind me. I'm like, any game I played where they're like, look at the map, I'm like, screw your map. Okay. I can't.
Screw your
I'm
map.
directionally, like, I'm directionally challenged. Like, even playing Fortnite. it's
Hmm.
sometimes harder to play duos because I'm like, I cannot find you. I'm like, have to spin around, look at the map. I'm like, can you just come over here?
Yes, I'm the lost puppy child, and I know this. Please come towards me. Thank you.
Like, why did you leave in the first place? Like,
So okay, so like I said, you've been on Kick for probably about almost 2 months now, roughly about 2 months. Um,
almost 2 months.
what are the things you like and don't like so far about streaming on there, the site itself, the whole package? What is are things that you do like and don't like?
I think that there's many things I don't like. Recently, I found out you can't see your followers,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought that that would have been something you could see by now, especially since you can see it on Twitch. Um, so I don't like that. Um, I don't know, the whole like hosting when you host and you have to stay on for like a whole 2 minutes. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
mind staying in their stream for a little bit, but you have to keep OBS on and you have to keep like all of this stuff going.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the fact that you have to use bot tricks
Oh
because I don't
yeah.
really, yeah, like I don't really trust bot tricks. Like I've looked into it. I haven't seen like many good things online about it. And I
Mm-hmm.
know a ton, like almost everybody I see uses it. And Kick doesn't have anything other than Botrix because their live bot, live chat, whatever their thing was called, has been down since I started.
Oh yeah. Like I've been slowly getting into bot tricks, but I've also been in that kind of like world where I've kind of been noticing already like how to work some of this stuff. Like I said, I've been streaming for 3 years now, so I've been around the block around like different services like Stream Elements, Streamlabs, OBS, using these different sources or websites to do X, Y, and Z. So like understanding bot tricks was a little bit easier for me, but like even getting to bot tricks, logging in and trying to get everything going, like I was like, this is just a little too much. It feels like. But
It,
I think it also
do
just
you use this
comes.
Botrix?
I do use bot tricks. So like I use bot tricks for all my alerts for Kick. I use bot tricks for my chat box on stream. Bot tricks. I use a couple different things for bot tricks. But honestly, when I do streaming at like another platform, like let's say I do like Twitch or YouTube, or even when I do Twitter, I'll just use whatever natural thing I have with OBS, because Botrix can go over multiple different sites. Twitter is the one I'm still trying to work with on how to get a better alert system going because not many people stream on Twitter, and it seems like Twitter doesn't
I
even know
didn't
how to
even know.
stream. Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
that.
didn't even know you could on Twitter.
So fun story. I've been do like before I did the Kick stuff back in March. January and February I've been doing like my own independent kind of like research on streaming to different platforms, the pros, the cons, so that way if anybody ever asks or anybody has any questions, I kind of have like a background knowledge and I can give them kind of some like advice and tips and all that. Uh, Personally, for me, if it wasn't for like affiliate contracts where they're like you have an exclusivity contract, you can only do this at this time or whatever, I'd be streaming to all the platforms I possibly can. The only platform I have an issue with is Twitter. Like I found out how you can live stream on Twitter, but there's one major downfall, and it's like almost a key downfall. Like if you stream from your phone, you're fine. You can see chat from your phone because it's like a TikTok live or Instagram live. You can see chat from your phone. But if you stream from your computer, you cannot really see chat from the website. And with streaming, chat's like the most. It's like the heartbeat almost of like what we do. Like if you're doing like something like this, where I don't care if I see chat, this is perfectly fine. So like for me, like maybe down the road, I might be streaming this on Twitter because it just might be a lot easier. But with how do I say this? With Twitter, it's like there's such a great opportunity there, but it's so lacking. It's just so kind of disappointing. So like it's good for like getting engagement. So like what I tell people or what I would do is like when I would stream on Twitter, I would change my title like live on Twitter, come chat over at Kick, and I'll have like the link in like the description or whatever. And maybe that might be successful, maybe not be, or people will watch it a little bit here and there on Twitter. But like it works like a streaming platform. It's just missing its key thing, which is its chat. So
Yeah, seems like a big thing. You know what? You're gonna have to tag me next time you go live on Twitter because I'm it's okay. I've never seen anyone even mention streaming on Twitter. I did not even know
mhm.
that was a thing at all. And I'm trying to wrap my head around how
what I'll
where
do
you go for that.
what I'll do is this. I'll after this interview and after we're done recording, I'll try going live on Twitter when I play my game as well. and I'll show you how it all works and all that. It's actually it seems like it's complicated, but it's actually really easy, and I can give you like a step by step. It's like a no brainer. It's just really weird to like work around and all that. But no, it's like I said, multi-streaming is such good for like growth and opportunities because like when you think about platforms like Kick and Twitch, you know how they have their different affiliation things. Like each like Twitch is like, oh, you need 50 followers and a viewership of 3. And Kick is like, hey, you just need 75 followers. I don't care how many viewers you have. And then when you get to like partner for Twitch, it's like, all right, you need like 100 concurrent viewers, you need this, you need that. You're like, oh my god, this is exhausting. And then Kick is like, all right, you got 50 viewers? Sure, here you go. And it's like, oh, this is a lot easier. Like, what is this? But even the same thing for like YouTube, for even trying to hit their partner program, like you need theirs is like the most strictest. You need 1,000 subs, so like just 1,000 followers, and 4,000 watch hours. Now, watch hours seem like a lot, but when you're a streamer, it actually could be a lot easier. Because if you think about if you average, let's say, 5 viewers and you do like 2 hour streams, that's 10 hours already of watch time. And then the more you keep doing and the more you keep growing, the more it builds up, builds up, builds up. So it's over a lifetime. So it's not even over like a year, it's over a lifetime. So if you multi-stream,
Yeah.
like if you do Kick and YouTube at one day and people come to your YouTube and they're slowly growing, you're just building those watch hours up. And it over time it'll seem like exhausting, but like I said, once you build, network grow, and people start coming in and supporting you, it'll start adding up and adding up. Just kind of like how the follows do, just kind of like how like the viewership does and all that stuff like that. Uh, I don't know how we sidetracked into all this talk, but fuck it, it's fine. Uh, but now that we kind of talked about like how it's been like for you on Kick, what's it like for you being also an affiliate on Twitch? Like, what have you noticed about that for you?
So Twitch was a lot harder. Obviously, because I didn't do the follow for follow, which I do not recommend doing at all.
Mm,
Like, of course, I built a good community, so it has been good for me, but it's not gonna work for everyone. And if I
mm-hmm,
had built it like generic follows, maybe I would have a higher like CVV
mm-hmm,
right now. So Twitch was a lot harder. It took me so much more time. I did also start streaming less on Twitch, so that's probably it too. But like hitting that 3 concurrent viewers that they ask for, the you know 75 followers or what is it, 50 followers? I think
50,
it's 50
yeah,
followers.
50 followers and 3 concurrent viewer average.
Yeah. So I think there's like a couple other things that I had already hit, which was fine. But yeah, it was a lot harder. But I also get um I guess I guess that's it. It was just harder to
Mm-hmm,
get to affiliate, but it's still been really good. I still just don't stream over there as much, just because I feel like the community and the other connections that I've made are just mostly on Kick, and it's
mm-hmm.
just easier for me to like venture over there and do everything on Kick, even though like I don't use bot tricks, so I have to use my phone to watch chat, which is super annoying.
Yeah,
um like watch harder for the followers I get and stuff like that, whereas on Twitch, like, I get the notifications, everything's just built in. um Other than that, I mean, the communities are like somewhat similar. I just have more of a community on Kick, I guess, but it's
yeah,
it's not it's not that much different
yeah.
for me anyway.
Yeah, it is such an interesting thing that I want to bring up because, like I said, like for someone who's been like there for years to come over to how it's been like here on Kick, it's to me, it's not so much of a night and day difference. It's almost like a cultural difference. Like most of the people who I wouldn't say jump ship, but like who wanted to start doing stuff on Kick knew what it was like to how hard for it to grow on on Twitch, on all that stuff like that, because it was such a wide community. It was such like a big community. It's like trying to like be big in America in a small town almost.
Yeah.
And just trying to find people to connect with, trying to find people to grow with, trying to like network and do other things. It's a lot harder. It almost seems like because I feel like Twitch people almost like don't want to really network unless it like almost benefits them. Like they don't want to meet new people, they don't want to meet new friends, they don't want to do really much anything until like they have a reason to. Like I remember when I was like slowly dabbling with Twitter and being on Twitch, I made a tweet out saying like, hey, like I would love to meet new people. I love to play these games with these people. I'm kind of on this kick, and these guys were like, oh yeah, I'm interested. And I like went to talk to them, and they're like, oh, I don't think you fit our vibe. And I was like, what do you mean I don't fit your vibe? Like, yeah, we're pretty chill. I'm like looking around, like I'm not chill. And they're like, yeah,
Like, no idea.
they're like, we just don't think it would be a good fit. I was like, okay, whatever. And when I'm on kick, someone's just like, oh, you play this game? Yeah, I play this game too. I like that. You want to play this game together? Yeah, sure, I don't care. And then we'll just play the game and it'd be like, sweet, all right. And the same thing with Twitter. Like you mentioned anything kick, and it's like the people know that they've come from such a hard place or such a hard market that coming to a new scene is so much like a breath of fresh air almost. It's like moving to a new town or moving to another place that just knows hardship. And it's
Yeah, they're super welcoming. I
mm-hmm,
mean, I'll say that there's still always so the way I built my community, I feel like a lot of people still, if I go over and stream on Twitch, I think a lot of them still come over there.
mm-hmm,
So it still seems like growth and that's in that huge pool, but I get it. Like there's so many people and so many people are watching those like bigger streamers that for someone like me who's just getting started or just people that are smaller, it's going to be harder to be noticed. um but I still have, there it's I don't think that it's like all positive. There are like some small negative things. There are still some people that it seems like until you seem like you're growing to a certain point that they don't really want to interact with you.
mm-hmm,
And it's like, that's great. But if I get to, this level that I'm finally worthy of your, time,
mm-hmm,
it won't be reciprocated at that point because I want to be able to help people. I want to be able to interact with people big and small.
mm-hmm,
Like how many followers you have, how many people watch you on Kick or Twitch or Twitter, wherever it is that doesn't matter to me. Like
mm-hmm,
how you are as a person and how you interact with me and you know, if you're nice, I'm like, I want to help you. I want to be in your corner and I want to, I'll play video games with you or whatever it is.
mm-hmm,
So, there's been like little sprinkles of that I've noticed, but for the most part like it really is nice. Like I've gone into people's chats before and we'll be talking about the game and they'll be like, "Oh, I haven't played that game in a while." They're like, "Let me know when you're playing and
mm-hmm.
when you want to play. We'll play together." And I'm like, "Me?"
You're
I'm
like,
like, "But
you want to play with me? It's like, oh,
no, like I just got here. Like I'm like nobody, and they're like, we don't care about that.
I think
So
that
I
was
do.
no. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Keep going.
Oh no, I was just saying I do like that it's the positive really does outweigh the negative, but like you still have to you still have to acknowledge that there are some people that are still like that, and
Mm-hmm,
hopefully the more Kick grows and they see this like welcoming community that it changes how they are because a lot of them did come from Twitch and
yeah.
that's how I had to be. Like it was basically like I see you climbing that ladder, I'm trying to climb that ladder, like I'm shoving you down.
Yeah, like it's just wild to see that. And like I can't precisely say I see it here like with like a definite like evidential answer. Like I in my opinion I think I've seen it like but not directly be like, "Oh, you can't hang out with me because you don't have this." I think people try to like avoid certain people because they're either not at a certain level or status or don't have that kind of like backing verification from somebody that like high up in their friend circle, which I get. And I've been to those moments where like I've been someone in that chat and I'll just be like watching somebody stream and they'll be like, "Oh, I've been thinking like I want to play this game, but I'm not sure." Like, dude, do you want to play that game? Like, I'll play a game with you. And they're like, what do you want?" I was like, "What do you mean what I want? I'll play a game with you. That's all I care about." And they're just so baffled. They're like, "Why would you want to play a game with me?" I'm like, "Why would you want to stream? Because you like it, right? Yeah. Why would I want to play a game with you? Because I like the game, and you need a friend, and I need a friend. Like, what? I don't know what you're like trying to get at. Like, do you think I'm gonna make you pay or something? You want me to like you want to shout me on Twitter? Like, I don't give a fuck what you do. Like, you seem like a cool human being. I want to get to know you more. I want to hang out. I want to be friends. Like, think I like seeing that a lot. Like I even saw today, I did a morning stream today. I was playing a game called Pokemon Infinite Fusion, and this guy just came into chat, and he was just talking about the game. And we were just talking about just all the different funny different things that can happen in the game. And I was like, just mid like stream, I was talking about old school RuneScape because that's like something I played when I was a kid, and he was just like, "Oh, I still play that. Like, if you ever play that, like, let me know. I'll hop on. We'll do stuff together." And I was like, "Really? You just met me like 30 minutes ago?" He's like, "Yeah, 30 minutes. I've known that you're not like a douchebag and you're a pretty cool guy. Like, I'll play games with you. I don't care." And like, it still mind baffles me. I'm like, "Oh, people want to hang out with me. This is nice."
I know it's great. I love when that happens, and it sucks that there's still and it's gonna be a while before people realize like not everybody wants something from you,
Mm-hmm.
because seems like, and I can't speak directly to it obviously because I like I keep saying, like I just started, so I wasn't here for
Mm-hmm.
before everybody moved from Twitch. I just know from what I've heard. But even when like if I raid somebody, if I shout them out or anything like that, I'm like I don't do it because I want anything from you. I could quit streaming today
Mm-hmm.
and it wouldn't matter to me. I would still be here to show support
Mm-hmm.
because you've shown me that like you're a good person and you deserve this. So I'm like, I'm gonna keep doing it. And the fact that you were nice and welcoming is just like that was it. Like that sealed it for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, you haven't done anything to show me that like you're fake, that you're out here trying to do anything malicious. You're super like helpful to the community. I'm like, of course I'm gonna shout you out. Of
Mm-hmm.
course I'm gonna keep doing this. And like anytime someone's like, who deserves these subs, who deserves this, if like cute bigger streamers that they want to rate out their 36,000
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
watchers, and I'm like, oh my god, like maybe wait a while before you ever hit me, I will panic. But like I'll share these other people and they'll come in and they'll be like, no, no, don't do that for us, like do it for Versais. And I'm like, shh, shh. I didn't say that for you to come in and like vouch for me or anything. Like I literally just want to see you grow.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's hard for people to still realize that some of us just that's all we want. Like I just want to see you grow because I think you deserve it. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, if I make it big and I turn this into a day job, like great, that's fantastic. But I'm not like banking on that. I'm not,
Right.
I'm not working like super hard towards that because there are still some days where I'm like, I don't know if I want to do it because it's just a lot, like mentally, like you have to do so much for it. And I'm like, and you have to keep learning all this stuff, which I'm like, that's so great. Like, I love learning new things, but you have to learn it so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just got a TikTok and I'm like, I put like 4 TikToks up and I'm like, oh, I
Already
have to put more.
exhausted.
Yeah, like you mean I have to put more to get? No, I'm good. I'm okay. Maybe like in a couple of weeks, I'll get
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, let me take a moment to just like realize that I've just learned how to edit, learned how to do something and post something. Now you want me to do it every day of my life? Yeah, no, I'm good. I'll do it like once a month, maybe that.
And editing is hard. I honestly I took a couple things from Canva just because I didn't want like just the black background.
No, that
And
that's
I
that's perfect. I was about to say like you to use any resource you can. Don't be afraid to not know something. When I first started streaming, I used Canva and I still use Canva all the time. I love it.
am like it worked out because I was trying and there was a couple people that I had asked because I was like, hey, like Splash, I was like, hey, like I like how you did your background on TikTok, like how did you do that? He was super helpful. He like made a video and he was like, I don't know if you can see where I'm clicking, but like let me know and I'll walk you through it. And I was like, no, I think I got it. I spent like 2 days trying like watching the video repeatedly, trying to see exactly. I was like, I couldn't do it, and I was like, fuck this. I
I
was like, who cares about TikTok?
I will say when it comes to like growing on other platforms like TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, anything like that, where you have to do that phone format and all that. It like I finally found a rhythm and tools that help me out with a lot. But even till this day, it's still kind of like a tedious chore almost because like you have to find a rhythm that you like, or you have to go back into your streams, clip something, or you have like I have this one plugin for OBS that this guy named Harris Heller, and Harris Heller, he's been on YouTube and streaming for such a long time, but he developed this plugin that you could set up for virtual. like streaming and virtual like setups. So I don't have I'm not 1,000 followers on TikTok yet. I'm not probably gonna stream there because I've just heard like so many horror stories from people. I'm just like, I don't know if I want to do it. But what you can use the plugin for is saving what they call replays. And you could do like you could set the replay for how many ever seconds, and once you hit a button, like you set a button for it on your keyboard, it'll just record the last how many ever seconds of whatever you were streaming or playing. So like I'll be playing Call of Duty, and if something happens, cool, I'll take a moment and I'll just like look down at my keyboard. I'm like, all right, press the plus button on my numpad. Boom, it records it, and now I have a little buffer area of things where it's like not only is it in the phone format, and I kind of like edit it in like OBS, but now it's like I said in that phone format, and all I got to do is just like edit out the times I don't need. So I just like cut wherever I want to stop, and then just upload it. It saves a lot of time.
Awesome. I wish that Kick had a way to like take clips after the fact, like Twitch does. I don't
Hmm.
like that, you know, like if like you have to know that something cool is going to happen on Kick in
Hmm.
order to clip it, and I'm like, how
That
am I supposed to know I'm going to do something like funny or
yeah,
cool?
right. I
I
think
don't
that's
play it.
I think that's one of the hard things that made me like not want to go over to Kick It the first time. When I was getting my stuff ready for like gathering clips, whatever it may be for TikTok, YouTube, whatever. Twitch has such a phenomenal thing where it has a clipping system that you can download from their website. And then if you want to go back to your VODs, there's a highlight system where you can make your own little what they call highlights. So if you want to record an entire game where you won something and it was just like a proud moment for you, you could record that, download it. You could send it to YouTube at the same time if you really wanted to. You can make it as short as you want. You can make it as long as you want. It was a lovely thing. And it still is a lovely thing. I like when I stream on Twitch, time to time. I still use it for when I grab stuff. Um, and that was the one thing I was like, I was such in a rhythm of like using it, like going to another site where it would be like new and it didn't have these features yet. It was like that means this is gonna probably either take a loss or I have to kind of like set up ways to kind of like backtrack myself. And that was just thinking of that was just exhausting as well as just moving to a new site and trying out a new thing. Um, so here's the thing that like I want to ask you when you think about streaming because we you kind of mentioned this a few times. You talked about how you have to do all these different things. Like you have to upload on TikTok, you got to, stream so many hours, so many days, you got to do this. Who told you that?
Anyone specifically told me that actually. I think that was just an assumption that I made.
Mhm.
Um my husband was actually the one that got me into like pushed me towards streaming and told me I should try it. And I think just the way he talks about people who like, bigger streamers and stuff, I just assumed that that is what you had to do and never really asked anybody. It was just
Because here's the thing, when I started streaming, I had the same mentality. I had to stream so many days out of the week. I had to keep a consistent schedule. I had to upload on TikTok and YouTube. And in my free time, I was watching other streamers on their YouTube channels talking about how to grow in other areas, what hashtags to use and all that. And like just sitting there thinking about it was exhausting. But then I realized for myself, it was just like nobody really told me I had to do it like this. Like yeah, if you want the like to waste all your energy and fast track this to growth, like yeah, you could definitely do all this stuff. But I think it's very important for like beginner streamers, like until you hit like 6 months, 7 months, you're a beginner streamer to me. And what like you just need to know the basics of what you're doing. And like I said, you're just streaming right now. Just enjoy streaming. Like you have people who love to want to come and support you, want to play games with you, and you're constantly meeting new people, both on Twitch and on Kick. Don't worry about having to like upload to TikTok because, like I said, there are people who I know who are like partnered on Twitch and partnered with Kick, and they're just like, I haven't touched my TikTok in like 6 months. And I'm like, what do you do? He's like, I don't know. I just post on Twitter. I was like, do you do anything else? Maybe I post a thirst trap on Instagram, but that's about it. And I'm like, all right, at least you're honest, bro. I appreciate you, revealing that knowledge to me. But just don't feel like you have to do everything at once. Like, yeah, there's growth, and I think everybody wants to grow and see like those numbers constantly grow. But I think, in my opinion, and you could take it as a grain of salt as you want, just enjoy the process. Just enjoy meeting new people, getting comfortable with streaming, talking to chat, just get comfortable with yourself before you worry about all these big things happening. Because like yeah, there's always going to be times where you can get on that YouTube short train, that TikTok train, that Instagram train, Twitter train, and all that. But if you keep thinking about all the things you need to do now, when you don't even feel comfortable even streaming some days, think about just adding that on top of the list of things that you are trying to do when you just started. Like when I tell this to anybody that I teach like OBS stuff, or when I teach music, or when I teach baseball. I'm like, I want you to come in here knowing that you're going to fail every day, and I want you coming in here knowing that you're not going to be in the MLB in 6 months time. Like, don't you're not going to be on the grandest stage of them all. You're not going to be on a stage rocking out to 70,000 fans. You got to take baby steps. You got to take the time to learn this stuff. And like I said, I felt that trap too, and I felt exhausted where the points I wanted to quit, and it was just mentally and emotionally exhausting because you get to a point where you think, God, I have to do this, or I'm not being successful, or this and that. It's like, no, 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 no. Like most, like even the people like Vit, like I was talking to Vit in the first stream. I was like, hey, when was the last time you posted a TikTok? He's like, it's been quite a while. I was like, when was the last time you posted a YouTube short? He's like, it's been quite a while. I was like, what do you do for like networking? He's like, I just go to Twitter and talk to people. That's all he does.
I mean, Twitter is amazing. I mean, that is most of what I do, but yeah, like I think that's great advice, and I wish I, thought of that more like coming in, even up, up until recently, like, or I mean, really up until you said it. It's always something that's like in the back of my mind, and it just, even if I'm not actively doing it, it's like it's draining because I'm like, okay, I didn't do anything for TikTok. I didn't post anything to YouTube. I didn't edit anything. I don't even think I saved any of my videos.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I barely have time to, everyone's like, you got to watch your own VODs, and I'm like, I totally get that. I watch my own VODs though, and I laugh. I think I'm hilarious. So I don't know. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong, but it's
As
like,
long as you love what you're doing and you love your content, that's all that matters. That really is all that
exactly,
matters. Don't worry about what
yeah,
anybody else thinks about your content, because if you start worrying about how others are going to look at your content, that's going to be the downfall. Because, like I said, is when you start liking your own views, or not views, I should say that, when you start liking your own content, your own streams or whatever, people are going to come because they're going to see you're enjoying yourself, you're genuine, and you're funny, you're cracking jokes, you're making fun of your friends or whatever. They're going to come and see that because they know you're not trying to fake it for whatever, or you're trying to do something that's not you. Like I know so many people that fall into that trap. They're like, "Oh, I gotta play this game because it has the best viewer interaction and all that." I'm like, "Do you even like this game?" Like, no, but I'm trying to grow. I'm like, people are gonna know you don't like this fucking game, dude. Like it's gonna be it's gonna be evident. Like just do what you want to do. Do what like what you want to do, and people will come. Your friends, the friends online will support you and get people going to you. Just ask for help and ask for ideas. Don't be afraid, but don't be like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to be energetic, I have to be, super talkative. I know a guy who literally streams on a second account all the stupid games that he loves because he's afraid that if he puts on his main channel that people weren't going to follow him. And I told him one day just to like, you need to just start putting it on your main channel. Like, well, it'll die my viewer count. Like, are you worried about viewer count, or are you worried about people liking what you do? Because
exactly.
you're playing a game like you're playing this one game every day for your life, and that's fine. But you're not happy because you get bored like 9 times out of your 10 times streaming. He's like, yeah, I was like, play a different game. If they're there for you, they're gonna like what you're doing, and they might like a freshen up. They might like something change. I like there are days where like I'll get stuck on a game for like a month, and then I'm like, I need to freshen up. I need to play something different. And then I'll be like, I'll play a game for one day, and I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna do something different now. It's like, but we were liking this. Like, all right, cool. I'll be back at that eventually. But man, I feel like playing like Uno, and I'll just play Uno with friends, and I'll just like start cussing at them because they're horrible human beings when they play Uno.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it brings out the worst in people. You know, I think that a lot of it, so there's like obviously goods and bad parts of Twitter. Like I've learned a lot, made a lot of connections, but you do see posts where they're like, if you're a new streamer, you can't be switching around to games and stuff. Like people want to see you be consistent. I see those posts, which is why I started watching my own VODs. They were like, you have to watch your own content. If you're not growing, like you need to watch your own and see what's wrong. And I'm like, so it's like a battle, especially if you have anxiety. It's like a battle of
Mm-hmm.
Why am I changing up who I am for people who are not there for me because of who I am?
Right.
Like, I want to be myself. And if you want to show up and see that, great. But like, I may as well have bot views
Mm-hmm.
if you're there for me for the fake version of whatever you think I should be.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people see those posts, and that's why, like, especially being new, you don't know, like, you're learning, you're trying to figure out what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to grow, like what is even right
Mm-hmm.
in in those terms. And you have these like bigger streamers, whether you're Shroud big or you have 100 CVV every night, like you see
Mm-hmm.
those people and they're like, this is what you got to do, like, and
Mm-hmm.
they're always posting those things, like it gets to you and you're like, okay, well, I mean, they're saying it, so
Mm-hmm.
if this is what they're doing, like obviously that's what I have to do. And it, the more you see it, like it feeds in and drips in. And I don't think we have enough people saying like, be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who cares if Fortnite is the highest played or
Mm-hmm.
highest watched game? Like, if you
Mm-hmm.
don't enjoy it, don't play it.
And that's a
And
very real thing you just said right there. Like bringing that back up, the word I've been using in these podcasts, I call them stream gurus. These people who either get verified or having like a high viewership or high whatever, and they're trying to tell you how to grow and this and that. Like, to be fair on their end, when it comes to like really wanting to grow and taking that time to grow, like some of that what they're saying is not like totally out of pocket. Like if you want real growth, you need to start doing this. Like, okay, yeah, like if you just want to grow as like a business with a number, like, yeah, like I think there are people in the streaming world, and like it's pretty evident that there's like three kinds of people, I would say. There's people who don't know what they're doing. They're streaming and they're doing whatever, whether they're having fun or not, and they're trying and they're just kind of lost. Then there's the people kind of like us who we're streaming, we're kind of learning, we're growing, and we're trying to make our own path. Like we don't reject growth. Like, we like growth. We want to see that growth, but we're also at the same time like we want to enjoy what we do. We want to enjoy our content. We want to enjoy just interacting with people. Like I've been saying for years, like what means more to me is not the sub count, not the view count, not the follow count. It's making those connections with people that I can come back to and talk to. Like when someone comes into my chat for the first time, I want to get to know them. I want to talk to them. I want to be like, hey, like, what you got you here? And if I see them again, that gets me excited because I'm like, man, this person is enjoying themselves, or they may like me, or may like whatever. And then I start making friends. I start making lifelong friends, and I start getting to know people. Like, I like making those connections because I feel like when it comes to streaming, we get to those points where the views are not going to be there, the subs are not going to be there. You're not going to really feel it. And just seeing that person that may come in time and time again, or might come in here and there, it's like a nice like refresher. It's like seeing an old friend from like high school or college. You're like, oh man, how you been? Like, I haven't seen you like a couple weeks. Like, yeah, I've been working, or yeah, I kind of been just like in my little rabbit hole. I've been watching anime, and it's like, oh man, like which anime you're watching? It's like connecting with a friend again. It feels
Mhm.
refreshing and almost genuine. It's like a genuine connection. And like I said, to not totally knock what they're doing, like they're talking about like growth on like the most max level. Like, you want the best viewers, you want this, you want that, you got to be doing this. Like, yeah, you're not wrong, but that's not the only way to do it. Like, how
Exactly.
do we tell people? Just let's start off with like, do you like what you're doing? Like, if you're not liking how you're streaming right now, let's talk about why, and why is that. If you're liking streaming and you're liking how you're streaming, like, okay, let's talk about like what can we do to get you to whatever reasonable level goal that we can. And that's where I think like a lot of people don't even set goals or do anything like that. They just say, okay, you need to grow. Okay, well, what's growth? One follower is growth. One new chatter
It,
is growth.
exactly. I don't think that they think about their entire audience, because you know
Mm-hmm.
what, if I've been doing this for, like you said, like 6 9 months, a year, like, yeah, like I probably should be doing more of that stuff. But they're hitting like new streamers.
Mm-hmm.
And like obviously they're hitting like people who've been doing this for months or years too. But to put all that weight on like a new streamer is like, whether they intend to or not. And obviously, like, it's up to the person reading it to interpret it how they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to think about that. Like, does this advice really belong to me? Like, should I be listening to it? But most of the time when you're new, like, you're like reading that and you're like, it's affecting you. You're like, I have to be doing this. So really like figuring out like if you're gonna be a stream guru or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna be super helpful, maybe break that up and
Mm-hmm.
be like, if you're at this stage, this is what you should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that if you're, like new to everything like I was, and you're trying to do everything and learn everything at once, like I was trying to do, and stream every single night and work and have a family, like it gets it gets wearing so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot more people are like quitting.
Mm-hmm.
And like I almost quit. I ended up taking like a few extra days off, and then I was like, I have to do a schedule. I have to do something where, like I'm holding myself accountable to at least streaming,
Mm-hmm.
because if I know if I said I'm going to do it this day, like I'm going to do my best to do it that day. But I'm like, this everyday shit.
Oh,
I'm
no,
like,
no,
I
no.
can't even, like, yeah, like I can't function at my job, like, you
Yeah.
know, and the two combined, like I'm already burnt out with my job, and to be burnt out with streaming when it was
Mm-hmm.
less than a month, I was like, something has to change, or I'm going to give up before I even really get started. And that's something I try to tell other people all the time is like, don't give up. Like, if
Mm-hmm.
you have like a really good reason, if it's really just but like hard on you mentally and you have to quit because of that, like by all means, like take a break for a while and come back. But I see so many people that just want to quit, and I'm like, don't, because
Mm-hmm.
there's somebody waiting for you. Like as positive as the community is, as much as we want to see everyone succeed, like there's always that one person that is like, I'm waiting for these people to quit, because it
Mm-hmm.
is less people that you know that's going to make it big, like Twitch is right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, so if these 5 people quit, great. That's great for me, because now I might get an extra viewer,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, so don't quit just because you have a bad night, or
Mm-hmm.
you don't know all these things. But it's, it gets hard when you see those posts. At least for me, I can't speak for everybody, but
No, no, and like I said, that's a huge thing you just spoke upon, like knowing to just when to take a break, like be very vulnerable for me. After the first interview with Vit, like my depression took a hit. Like I don't even know what happened. It was just like that Saturday or Sunday morning, I just couldn't do anything, and I set myself a personal schedule that I will always give myself 2 days off minimum from streaming, whether I'm doing something personally in my own life, like I'm doing laundry, housework, or I'm just playing a game with friends, or if I'm being a viewer and I'm just connecting with people and just being there to be supportive of them. I always take a minimum of 2 days off as best I can because I need that time for me. Like I said, working 410s, like we work long hours. We do jobs that like may be more mentally taxing than just something simple as like stocking at Walmart or whatever. But even stocking at Walmart can be taxing because it's such a physical job. And after you get home, like, especially if you have a bad day, it's gonna be hard to stream. It's gonna be hard to want to do anything. And especially like when you're being a new streamer, you're burnt out here. You're trying to start something new, and then you feel like you have to do all these things that these people are saying. Like these are what's getting these people successful. Like no, 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 no. Just take a time for yourself. Don't be afraid to take breaks. Don't be afraid to be you, the human you are. Like I tell people, like you'll see me on Discord, you'll see me in your chat or whatever. But there are days where I'm off screen. I'm not me. I'm Mike. I'm gonna go watch TV. I'm gonna go watch a movie. I'm gonna go do whatever. Maybe I'm gonna go to the library and get a book or whatever. But that's such an important thing to know because like I've been preaching this for like years. Just as much as the chatter should matter to the viewer, like the streamer should also matter to the viewers. Like you should be taking that time to really just be you. You have a life too. Like I shouldn't be expecting you like, all right, Versais, I know you work 10 hours. I know your boss is, kind of an asshole today. And they, you've spoken 12 times to them and they couldn't even understand the basics of their fucking job. And you like really want to throat punch them. But I'm going to need you to stream like 2 hours of Fortnite because I kind of had a bad day too. And I want to see you play Fortnite. No, 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 no. The people that genuinely support you will always genuinely support you. And when you figure out a schedule that works best for you, when you figure out just the comfortability that works best for you, streaming is going to be so much easier and a breath of fresh air. Because, like you said, once you get to the mindset that like not every person's going to be there, but when they are there, you glad for them to be there. It's going to feel so great that when you take a day off, you're like, knowing like, hey man, I'm grateful for just knowing that like XYZ chatter, who has always been to my chat, is so understanding that I have you know, depression or anxiety, or I have a family, or I have a job, probably because they have the same thing. And I think that's the hard part with Twitter. I think it's the hard part with just social media and all these people trying to post, this is what you're supposed to do, this is what you're not supposed to do, and X, Y, Z. The whole point of like this podcast is just to understand that streaming is so fluid. It's not a box. It's not a one way. Here's you got to do. You got to do this. You got to do that. There are so many different avenues you can take, and I feel like everybody is different with their avenues, and that's perfectly fine because once you figure out what is your comfortable avenue, you can start at cruise control, just enjoy the ride, enjoy the scenery. And if you want to build up speed and do a little bit more growth working when you figure out a comfortable rotation of stuff, go for it. But you shouldn't have to be like exhausting yourself trying to grow because you see some Twitter guy who's verified on Kick, or a partner on Twitch, like, this is what you need to do. No, that's what you need to do to keep your viewer count up and keep your growth going. What this person needs to do is just learn to like talk to people. This person gets anxiety talking to people. Let them grow and talk to people. Like, they don't like, fuck the game they're playing. Let them play a game that they like. People will come in for the game they like and the person that they are, and then people will start supporting, connecting, growing. You're going to meet new people, meet new friends, and wow, it just makes everything a lot easier. Just kind of how we like this interview. You're like, how do we do this? Like, we're just going to get into a call. We're just going to talk. Just makes it easy. And I feel like most people just need to hear, take it easy. Like, it's so easy to see like the success level of people, and they're like, here are my tips and tricks and secrets. Like, they're not secrets. Everybody does it. Like, the same tips you're doing, I can go onto internet, I can go into Google and be like, how to grow on this, and you're teaching the same stuff. Like, it's not rocket science. But
And it's
people just need to hear it's easy. Just take it easy.
yeah, I think that's true. And you know what? Like, I feel like even if you followed everything step by step that they're saying, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other thing is they're saying this as if you do all of these things that it's like no matter what, if you mark all these boxes, you're absolutely going to grow. And it's
Yeah.
like that's not true because there's like so many other factors. So really I'm just draining myself following your steps when
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if it's going to work.
Yeah.
But I did the same thing with my schedule. Like I have two days off from just streaming. Like it doesn't include like, and it's just days that I have to work.
Mm-hmm.
So now like I'll stream like Saturday night and Sunday night
Mm-hmm.
with I think I stream Saturday and Sunday. I don't know. But I have to work the next morning on both of those, but then I take like the next two nights off.
mm-hmm.
And then Wednesday, even though I work that day, like I'll typically come and stream. But the days I work, since I work from home, which makes everything so much easier,
Mm-hmm.
like those are also the days that I'm able to be in other people's streams more and like chatting and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad on the days that I'm not streaming and I'm just like at home doing whatever, like doing housework or anything like that. And I'm like, man, like I want to be in your stream, but I'm so mentally drained that I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
even want to pull up the computer. And it makes me feel bad because it's like sometimes it's like 2 or 3 days where I'm like, I haven't even touched these people's streams. And I'm like, man, I'm such a bad supporter.
I think that's just going to generally happen. Like, especially with how it's been like on Twitter with people like constantly retweeting your stuff, liking your stuff. You meet so many new people and follow and all that. You're always going to go back to the people that you made like a closer connection with and always be in their chats and all that. And then you look at your follow thing and like, listen, if I pulled up every tab and tried to be in everybody's stream, it's kind of exhausting.
It
Like,
is. It's hard because, I don't want to just lurk. I will sometimes, especially like even when I'm working,
mm-hmm,
I'll jump in, I'll talk, but then I'm like, I'm just lurking. I'll see your screen, but I'm not gonna have my headset on. I'm not gonna hear anything. So I won't type because I'm like, you're gonna be talking to me, and then it's awkward because I won't know what you're saying.
mm-hmm,
But you know like you are right, like the more I grow on Twitter, the more connections I make, and I'm like, I'm gonna jump into your stream, and I will, and
mm-hmm,
I do. But then it's like there's so many people, I'm like, there's not enough time in the day for me to hit all of you. And you're right, there are people that I generally always go back to because we've just made not better connections, but like they were there in the beginning,
mm-hmm,
you know so I'm like, those are the people like I always go back to, and I'm like in their streams. But then it's like it seems like days to me when it's only like maybe 2 or 3, because I have 3 days off where I'm like I retweeted your live, but I can't come and talk to you and I feel bad. Like I don't want to just pull you up and, later be like, "Oh, well, I had you up." And they're like, "Okay, sure."
And that's the thing that I like that me and Delphi, who the person we did an interview with on Wednesday, we were talking about is just the many different forms of support. Like one of the things I ranted about, which I won't scream in your ear this time, like I did with Delphi, is that streamers need to realize that the people who support them can't support them all the time in the ways that they want. And there are going to be times where the people that support you can't support you at all because they have a life and they're doing things. And like I want to bring that to like the forefront of just like culture for just like streamers is like listen, like it's like I will interact with you on Twitter, and if I'm not, and like unless I'm trying to like promote something like I said, this interview, I'm going to focus on this interview, and I want this to kind of get the attention because, like I said, I'm also trying to grow and do stuff as well. But if I'm not doing anything and I see you showing up, you're streaming, I'll retweet it, or I'll even quote tweet it, and I'll say like, hey, like jump in his chat, show him some love, like, and there'll just be times where I'll do that, and there's sometimes where I can't even do that because it's just so much going on. There's so many people that you're trying to connect with and just meet and do stuff with. And I got to a point where I was beating myself up because I wasn't being there for other people's streams, other people's channels, and all that. But then I sat back when I was in my stream and someone came into me. They're like, "I'm sorry, I haven't been here in a while." I'm like, "Why are you sorry?" I'm like, "There's no one mad at you. There's no one who is like holding you accountable." Like
Yeah.
because like I'm like I get it. You have a life. You're doing something. You're either talking to somebody else. You're hanging out with other people. Like I'm grateful that you're here, and I'm grateful for what you do for me. You don't have to like worry about that. And that like kind of like rung a note, and it was like I should be telling myself this about other people because like the support I give to people comes out of the goodness of my heart, and the same goes for you. I would assume you're not like just supporting somebody just to like abuse them, obviously. But like when it comes from the goodness of your heart, you're doing it, you're taking your time out of your day to do something to show them support, whether it's retweeting, talking about their tweet, maybe lurking them, talking in their chats, or even just leaving a follow. Like it doesn't have to be monetary. You don't have to always give subs to people. Like you can just leave a follow, and that's just another way of showing support. And people just I think everybody gets to a point where they're like, oh man, I want more chatters, I want more viewers. I'm like, yeah, I get it too. I'm not gonna lie. It would be great to have this stuff. But right now, I need to know that the people who support me right now, like who can support me, who left a follow, who did XYZ, I need them to know that they matter to me on any level. Like if they unfollow me, I get it, and they're not going to support me. I understand that. Maybe I play different games now, or maybe things change and they're just whatever. I get it. Like it happens. But while they're here supporting me, I want them to know that I appreciate that support. And for me to let them know that, I have to let them know. I have to let myself know that as a chatter and a viewer myself, that if the person that I'm giving support to doesn't value my support as well, it probably is a clear telltale sign that this wasn't like a good connection. So when people who even just retweet my stuff, I'm grateful for that. When people who come and lurk, I get that. And people who have lives who maybe either working, being with family, being with children, you know, or just not even doing anything, they're just not doing anything at all. That's fine. We're all humans. We all have lives, and I think like don't get me wrong, there are people who I would love to see stream like on my days off or when I'm off stream, like maybe I want to grab a drink or maybe smoke up a little bit and just like watch people and watch them just be funny and do whatever they want to do. But if they're not streaming, I'm not gonna be upset because I get it. They have a life. I'm not gonna be like, hey, can you get up at like 3 in the morning and play Fortnite? I'm kind of ripped right now, and that'd be great. It'd be good. This is the thing I really need right now. No, I'm not gonna be like that. So why should I think other people should expect me like that? And that should be just like back and forth. Like even though this platform, in my opinion, has a lot more like streamers than they do viewers, I think streamers also need to realize that we all have lives at the end of the day. Like this isn't my end day job, like my day in day out job. And if it is, then that may be a different story. But I have a life too, and I take days off too. These big streamers take days off too, and the ones that don't take days off that they're mimicking off of, you know they're stuck behind the computer all day, they're talking to chat all day. Let them do that. If that's their goal and that's their end initiative, that's fine. But my end initiative is not to be like 24/7 at this fucking computer. My end initiative is to
Like,
just love
ugh.
myself, be happy, have a happy life, and enjoy what I'm doing. And if right now that's like streaming and talking to like to people like you and understanding that world and understanding their perspectives, that's fine. But like maybe down the year, I'm like, you know what? I found somebody that I really like and I want to settle down with them and I want to like just grow a family. Or hey, I want to focus on my job. Or hey, I want to learn a new skill, like learning a new language. That also needs to be understood that these things are going to happen. People are going to come and go. Support's going to come and go. Viewers are going to come and go. Life's going to come and go. And we just need to take that moment to just realize that and be appreciative to what we have and not worry about what's going to like come in the future. Because like when you want to grow, there'll be time to grow. If you want to change, there'll be time to change. If you want to stop, you can always stop and come back. But don't always burn yourself out and don't worry about being the best supporter in the world. Because I guarantee you right now, anybody who thinks they need your support 24/7 in their chats and streams is probably not thinking of you as a healthy relationship at all.
True. And I totally get that. And it's funny, like you mentioned, you have to give yourself grace just like we give, the people who can't be in our chats all the time and, supporting us 24/7. We're like, we get it. Like you have a life. I feel like people like us never take our own advice. At least I don't. I never take my own advice. I'm always so critical and hard on myself that I will, especially with like the anxiety, like I will create like false narratives and be like,
Mm-hmm.
no, like if I'm not in their chat all the time, like they're gonna think I'm a bad supporter, I'm a bad friend, that maybe I do actually just want something from them because I haven't seen them in a couple days.
Mm-hmm.
And none of that's true. That's just like a false narrative that I made in my own mind
Mm-hmm.
because I have anxiety and I don't know how to give myself grace on things, you know. And there's like you said, like we can't expect streamers, like, because we know that they have lives just like we have lives. Like right now it's a lot of like streamers supporting streamers. There is like some like Bubba's, like sometimes he won't be on in the morning and I'll be like, where where
Mm-hmm.
are you? Like you're always on,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not that I'm sitting here like you have to be, but it's like, dang, like that, this sucks. Like it's like the one person that I watch that like keeps you awake in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
because I work from home, I'll go back to sleep.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And if I do that, like I'll get in so much trouble, you know? So, it's great like finding other people that you can support as well and knowing like, it's like something probably happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know if this person isn't on, like something probably happened. Life came, just like life comes for me and I'm like, I'm not gonna be on tonight. I'm not doing that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I had a bad day. But it is funny, like thinking of it like that, it's like I don't expect anybody to be on just because I want to watch, but also being like, that sucks. Like, what am I gonna do now? Now I have to find like a random person, and that's so much harder for me, even though like I'm just typing, right? Like they have no idea who I am. It's not like I'm talking to them like I'm talking to you. But,
Mm-hmm.
like I get so much anxiety, and I'm like, well, now like I just have your video up, and if I can't engage with it, like it'll be like watching TV for me. Like I'll probably pass out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you could be so hilarious, and I'm like, well, now I have anxiety. I can't talk to you, and I'm probably just gonna pass out at my desk here.
Oh yeah. Like I get those mixed kind of emotions too. Like when I like one of my favorite streamers is a big streamer. His name is Moist Critical. He's a very big YouTuber as well. But I never talk in his chat. But he's always doing something random and it's always so entertaining to me because like he'll stream like kind of like later at night. And like one day he'll be watching live police chases on YouTube, and I'm like, what the fuck are we watching? And he'll just start like talking shit about the police chases and how the cops aren't doing shit. Next thing you know, he'll do a night where he just got it's just like shit Steam game night. He'll look at like some of the worst Steam game reviews and worst Steam games out there or brand new games. He'll play them. He'll just talk shit about them, or be like, oh, this actually might as good like that. And I won't say a word in his chat ever. I think I've said like probably like 4 words in like the 2 years I've been watching him. And the one time I said something, he actually like read my thing out loud, and I had like an anxiety attack. I was like, nope, never speaking again. He'll be
Oh my
like,
god.
and it
You
wasn't even like
notice
a bad. It was like it wasn't even a bad interaction. It was a good interaction. He'd be like, he was like, what do I do here? He like, oh, thanks, meme. Appreciate that. Like, if you have any more tips, let me know. And I'm like, no, you can Google that shit.
Yeah, you're like, I don't. That was luck right there.
Oh yeah, I always get like there. I always get those like anxiety moments where like if I say something, I'm afraid he's gonna miss it. I'm afraid I'm gonna get called out. I'm like, what am I having anxiety about? Am I getting anxiety about not being noticed or being noticed? And it's just like yes, I'll just stay silent.
It's that battle. I hate it. I hate anxiety so much.
Mm-hmm.
I I've struggled with it ever since I was a kid, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's so hard in my like it hits my personal life, it hits my job, it hits streaming, like everywhere. It's just like this thing that like follows you
Mm-hmm.
everywhere you go and you can't get rid of it and you're like this is wonderful. I'm glad that I have one friend that is always with me but doesn't have my best intentions at
Okay.
heart. Like it's a struggle.
So speaking about like depression and anxiety, like even just going like outside the streaming world, because I like streaming world is just one thing, right? This like you don't just have anxiety, depression in just one aspect. It's like part of your life. Like same with me. What do you do to kind of like I shouldn't say deal with it because like I don't like saying that word. How do you handle? How do you combat when you have anxiety or depression? Is there like certain things that you do that help you out, or is it kind of just one of those things where it's like I need to like just sit there and be in the moment and then kind of get out of it later?
So terrible. I used to just kind of push everything down, like bottle it down when I would have like go through like my depression episodes and it's kind of gotten to a point where like I can't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't found anything that really works, so I'll just spend days like depressed in a funk and I just, you know, I don't do anything to get out of it. It just happens. I just go through these phases and some days are really really hard and then suddenly I'm like look at that. The sun is shining. Everything is
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
That was
You know.
like me this last weekend. Like uh depression is like a hit or miss kind of thing. Like sometimes it's easy and I can get out of it by talking to people. Sometimes I'm just like, listen, I just need to be left alone. I don't want to see the world or the sun. I just want to lay in my bed and just kind of like wait till this feeling kind of passes. And even to this day, like even like I've been going to therapy for like 10 years now. And I even told my therapist this last Thursday when I went to go see her, and she's just like, "What'd you do about your depression?" I was like, "I laid in bed, I stayed depressed, I was antisocial." You're like, "But what'd you do for you?" And I was like, again, I laid in bed. I was antisocial because I knew if I tried to get up and give myself energy and try to fake it, I was just gonna feel exhausted at the end of it, and I'd rather just try to take that time to rest and recoup. She's like, okay, well, why were you antisocial? I was like, because I just didn't have the energy to be around people, and I didn't have the energy to listen to people. She was like, so you needed rest and recouping. Like, yes, like just know that that's okay to have those moments. Like you don't have to always be like, all right, let me do my deep breathing exercises. Let me write down the things I'm grateful for every single time. Like not every time you're gonna go through something is gonna be like the easiest thing in the world, and you can be like, let me just write down this blessing. I ate mac and cheese today. Well, that's a blessing, but it's
Yeah,
just
it's hard in those moments.
having those moments to just be by yourself and just kind of like isolate from everything. It just helps sometimes. Um, but it's also like one of those things like when it even comes to like streaming and content creation, like being depressed is already hard enough, and then when you start thinking about like this, which could be like a hobby or like like a passion, try to be passionate about something that you don't have a passion for right now is like gut wrenching. Like when you really like playing video games like I do, and I don't have an energy or mood to play video games, I feel horrible because I'm like, I love doing this. And the moment like I stop loving doing this, I get like this motion like maybe I should move to something else. I'm like, no, I know I'm just depressed. Let me just get out of this. Like I'll be fine. Let me just move on. But like there was a like Wednesday was really kind of like one of those moments where I was like, you know what? I need to stream Wednesday or Tuesday. I want to do something. I want to hang out with friends. I want to do all that. I got to my computer after work and I just sat there literally in a Discord call, muted, not even like having like the internet up. I'm just staring at my screensaver, and I was like, nope, can't do this. I can't do this. I'm out. So like I closed Discord. I didn't even tell my friends I was leaving. I was just like just left, and I closed my computer and I just had to take a moment to just be taking care of myself. And I think I think that's important for everybody to know who deals with anxiety and depression. Like it's okay to take time to deal with yourself. Like whether it's one day, whether it's 1 hour, whether it's a week, a couple of days, it's very important because most people in this world nowadays know what it's like to be depressed, know what it's like to have anxiety, or know somebody has gone through this stuff to the point where they know that this is okay to go through, and coming back at any point is okay. Like you don't have to be there 24/7 for everything you do.
Yeah, no, that's super true. I mean, I definitely think it's also important to ask for help
Hmm.
because I don't think a lot of people do that. Even I don't do that.
Mm.
I don't. I really don't even like. I'll sometimes mention it to my husband, like I'm depressed
Hmm.
or like I'm feeling down. It's not something I really talk about, and I never have. Like the way that I grew up, it was like mental health was not a real thing, right?
Hmm.
Like you couldn't be depressed, you couldn't have anxiety, like those weren't real things. So I don't even talk about it. And that's another thing where I'm like, I don't take my own advice because I'll literally sit here and tell people like you should go see a counselor. You should find somebody that you can talk to that can help make you, not rely on them to make you feel better, but at least just vent to them,
Hmm.
you know, go out and like try to do things if you can. Sometimes it is like really just socially exhausting to be depressed and then be like, I'm supposed to go do something, especially as an introvert too. Cause like I'll make plans when I'm feeling a little extroverted.
Hmm.
And then the day will come and I'm like, I hate my life.
Oh my gosh, yes. Just
Yes,
just
you know?
trying to plan anything, like either hanging out or just doing a group project, like watching a movie or whatever, or even playing games with people. Like I have a buddy of mine who lives in Chicago, and he was like, "Hey, you want to go do, want to go to the city and like go get some good food and all that?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure, sure, sure." The day of, I'm like, "Fuck, I really don't want to do this. I really don't want to do this." But I don't want to be a dick and tell him no because he's excited, and I'm like, ah, fuck. But he also does it too, and I'll like call him, and like there are some days like I'm blessed to have him because he's like one of those people who is like he'll know just by the tone of my voice whether it's a day he can fight me in my depression or the day he knows I just need to rest. And I'll call him and be like, "Hey man, I really don't feel like doing this." He's like, "Are you just anxious and you just don't want to deal with shit?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm picking you up then. Let's go." And there are days like, "Dude, I really can't do this." He's like, "All right, go back to bed. I'm done talking to you. We'll talk tomorrow. I love you. Go to some good sleep." And he'll just hang up on me because he just knows by that. But he also deals with it. And it's nice that like mental, I shouldn't say mental issues. I don't like saying that word. Like mental disabilities, issues, differences, whatever you want to call it. I'm glad this is becoming more of a recognizable thing and like not just like a one-off thing like, oh, you have depression, just be happy. It's like, no, it doesn't work like that. Or
You're
it's,
like, thanks.
oh, you're anxious,
I
just don't be anxious. It's like you're just like looking around like, the fuck are you talking about? Like I just can't turn it off. Like how you turn off being a dumbass for like half a second? That'd be great too, but I can't, guess we can't do that.
Because if we could do that, we would have done that. That's the thing. Like, if you could turn off depression, you wouldn't be depressed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I don't understand things like that. Even my dad, he was probably the worst with it. Like if I would tell him I was depressed, he'd be like, "Oh, it's all in your head." I'm like, generally, that is how depression is.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you kind of just explained it, but I'm not making it up. So it's kind of one of those things. Like, I love my parents and everything, but because they also grew up in that era where it was like mental health wasn't a thing, you couldn't be depressed. It was
Mm-hmm.
basically you're making it up, you want attention. And I'm like, when have I ever been like that? Because I tend to stay away from any type of attention, which is why it's crazy to me that I do streaming, because it's literally like all attention is on me when I'm the one streaming, and
Mm-hmm.
it's freaking hard. But having someone like you said where like you can call them and they know, and they're like, they can either fight you on it and they're like, okay, I know you need help, is so important to have.
Mm-hmm.
And being able to talk to someone, like even I should do that. Like I said, like I just,
I mean,
yeah.
I always like I think you liked my tweeter about or tweeter. I think you liked my tweet about how I advocate for therapy. Like I think if I could tell everybody that deals with issues, whether it's mental, whether it's trauma, whether it's just unlocking stuff that you went through in your past, I advocate for therapy 100%. Once you find a therapist who not only is like understanding of your issues, but understanding how to talk to you as a human and you can have a connection with, it is a night and day difference. Like I've been seeing this therapist now for 6 years, and I love her to death. I'll come in and like she'll be like, "What did we last talk about?" And I'll be like, "Oh, we talked about this." Okay, and then I'll come in and be like, "Hey, what did we talk about last week?" She'll be like, "Oh, we talked about this." I'm like, "Good. Like, I'm glad you have the memory this week." And we'll like, but we'll have those. I'll have moments where I'm like, I'll just start talking about something, and she's just like, "Did you validate your feelings about that?" I'm like, "No, I kind of suppressed them because somebody else was going through something." I'm like, "So you sacrificed yourself and what you were going through to make somebody else feel better? Yeah. Did they do the same for you? No. Okay, then why are you doing it for them?" And I'm just sitting there, just like looking down. I'm like, "Shit!" And I tell people this all the time. What the fuck? But I think it's one of those moments where it's like when you find somebody that you feel comfortable talking to, that you don't have to worry about having that kind of like wall. You can put that wall down because you know when you be vulnerable and you open up your heart up, it's not gonna get shot. Like you might have some hard moments where you have to like self realize what's going on. You're like, oh man, I really need to work on myself, or oh man, I really need to like love myself more. But having someone in your life that you could just really just have your back without any kind of like worry that they're gonna judge you or worry that they're gonna be like, oh, you're dealing with this again. Oh my gosh. Like you can just let go of those mindsets. It's like a freeing moment. And I wish that for anybody. Like I wish that for everybody.
Yeah, because it's super important to have. But you know what's interesting is when you said when your counselor asked if they do the same for you
Mm-hmm.
and asked why you do it for them. For me, I never expect anybody to do those things for me.
Mm-hmm.
I know that like being in like surrounded by such like darkness when depressed
Mm-hmm.
is so hard that it's like if I can pull you out or at least help, if I could just like reach my hand in
Mm-hmm.
and help you out, like I don't expect you to do that for me. I do it for you because I think that I can handle it. Whether
Mm-hmm.
or not I can is not the point.
No. Yeah,
In the
exactly.
moment, I think that I can handle it, but I don't ever expect it back. And it could be because of like what I've dealt with over years and not being able to trust people or whatever it is, but it's also like why would I want to add on to what you're already dealing with?
Mm-hmm.
If I can handle it, that's fine. If I want to take that on, but like, you know, that's like my choice. But that's like my thing. I don't ever expect anything back. I'm
So
like,
so
it
let
is what it is.
let me ask you this because Delphi really challenged me on a mindset, and I think this might be not a challenging mindset, but I think it might be like a kind of like a spark kind of thing in your head. Let's see. I want to see what you think about this. Like when I think of somebody going through a hardship, whether it's depression, whether it's just down luck, whether they're just not feeling themselves, I have this tendency to just want to just help them out whenever I can, because I know what it's like going through those hard times. I know what it's like going through, suicidal thoughts. I know what it's like to go through depression, anxiety, hard times. My parents have been divorced. I grew up in kind of like a poverty style lifestyle. I've been through a lot of ringers, and I came to a point where like I want to just be there for the people that I love and care about as best I can, because I don't want to see them have to go through this stuff, because it's like if I got to a point where I was, on that edge, to say, for lack of a better term, how much are they going to do it? And like I've been through so much shit that I don't want to see him do it. I've been like I built up a wall enough. And he said this to me. He was like, "So, when you see somebody going through something, are you trying to stop them from a learning opportunity, or are you trying to stop, or are you trying to take care of them but not give them the experience and opportunities to grow themselves?"
Are they growing themselves by going through it by themselves?
Because here's the example I gave. Like when you were growing up and you were, you were in the kitchen with like your mom or whatever, she would always tell you, "Hey, don't touch the stove," right? Did you ever touch the stove?
No.
Oh wow, I'm different. I touched the stove. I think I touched it twice. Um, but like when someone tells you don't do something, like there's a parental thing in your life. They're like, "Hey, don't do this, don't do that. It's not good for you." Whether it's like, don't go to this party, don't drink underage, don't, X, Y, and Z. I think our parents have told us so many things that don't do, and we still do them. I've yet, unless you can prove me wrong, I've yet to find somebody who's listened to their parents 100% and it turned out successful.
Didn't listen to my parents 100%, but I also had siblings, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I I learned from my environment. I
Mm-hmm.
learned from what my siblings did,
Mm-hmm.
and I might have been like a sneaky kid. So like
Mm-hmm.
my
Oh.
parents catch me doing this stuff, but I also like I didn't have to do stuff first.
Mm-hmm.
I saw my siblings do things and they would like they would get fucked up, they would get in trouble, they like something bad would happen and I'd be like, so I shouldn't do it like that.
Yeah. If
And
I'm
I
gonna
would learn off of
if I'm
being there.
gonna do it, I'm not like them.
Exactly. Like I know not to do that now. Here's my version of whatever it is. So it's probably why
Mm.
it's different than me. I had five siblings.
Oh yeah,
So,
that's
you
way
know,
different. I had
yeah,
I
like
I
five of
had
us.
one, and he was a dumbass, and I still love him to this day. He's still one of the like the people I love the most in this life, but he can be a dumbass sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. Um,
My siblings the same way.
I think it's easier for us to learn when we have like siblings or examples like that, but at the same time, it's like going back to the question, like when someone's going through a hardship, like what made us the strong, caring person that we are today? Isn't it those same hardships, right?
Are you actually strong? Are you is it
And that
good
and,
actually to be strong?
and that's a good
Because
question. Like, do you think your friends are strong enough to go through a hardship?
no, I help I try to help everyone because of what I went through,
Hmm.
but I would have rather not gone through what I went through alone. I would have rather not been relied on
So,
so much like I did at such a young age.
mhm.
So I think that's why I do it is because I'm like I don't think that it's a good learning experience. Now, like if you're in a hardship because you just, you spent $100, your last $100 on something you shouldn't have did, but
Mhm.
you're still like able to live, like let's take this as a learning experience, like
Mhm.
I'm gonna make sure that like if you truly get to the point where you're gonna starve, I'm gonna help you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's learn from this. But if you're just like depressed and if you're in that like dark episode, like I don't think that going through it by yourself is truly a good learning experience. It just
Absolutely.
piles on more and more and more, and
Yeah.
you start to feel like no one's really there for you.
And that's 'cause that's the same answer I said. Like, I think it just depends on the situation at hand. Like, depression is such an ebb and flow kind of thing, and same thing with anxiety. Like, it's not going to be, the darkest times of your life, but it's also not going to be the easiest times of your life. Like, some depression, like, could be like literally a day and you're over it the next morning because you got some good sleep. Some depression could be like an entire week and you still don't even know what triggered it. And
Yeah.
going through that, like when I was in like a teenager, was hard enough because like I didn't have anybody that I can really talk to or connect with about that. And when I did, I started building like these bonds with them because I felt like this is the only person that understands me. Like I don't know who else to talk to. Like, and I felt like I was almost like always bothering them or I was always exhausting them because anytime I had an issue, I was always talking to this one person because they always knew what it was like. And I like I said, that's why I said I'm grateful for how progressive the understanding of like depression, anxiety, and all this stuff is now, to where people who even don't even deal with it understand to the betterment of their extent that this is like a real thing. Like this is like a not like a one time kind of thing. And it's nice having more people to talk to about this. Like obviously you're gonna have to learn to gain trust with people and like sometimes you're not gonna tell them every deep dark corner of your secret when it comes to like dealing with this stuff. But like even like I said, like for us, like we when we probably went through it, we didn't really have that many people that we could talk to that really understood. They're just like, just get over it, or like to stop thinking that way. It's like, oh yeah, like I would love to, but obviously I can't. That's why I'm dealing with it.
Right.
Um,
So I'm trying to ask for help.
and like I said, like it even like relates back to like the culture, like how streaming was for me back when I first started streaming, like how hard it was to like grow, meet people, connect, and all that kind of stuff like that. Like when I do stuff now on Twitter and now on Kick and now like with these interviews and all that, I have no problem sharing my experiences and telling people, hey, listen, like just because, X, Y, and Z told you you have to post 17 TikToks a day, you don't have to. Like just let's start with step number one. Do you like streaming? Yes. Okay, good. Like we've already built established that you like what you're doing. Let's not ruin that then. Let's make that the pillar. Let's make that the cornerstone. Because growth will come whenever you're ready. And the same thing with like in life. It was like I didn't have like many people to connect to, so I wanted to share those experiences with other people. But at the same time, when it comes to like certain situations, like I think there is a time where like I can't we can't just baby people all the time. Like they need to like fight for themselves. They need to like defend for themselves. And the analogy I gave is like I can always set up somebody for success, but if I keep blocking them from opportunities from learning and failing and growing, because I think failure is also a great teacher. Um, it's a scary teacher, but it's a great teacher. Um, it's like training somebody for years baseball, but never putting them into the game because you're afraid what how they're going to react when they get out, even though they get out all the time every single game. Like it's preventing them from actually trying and using those skills to the test. Because like I said, it's not every skill for like depression, anxiety is going to work for every single person. Some people like the breathing mechanism, some people like cold air hitting their face or cold water. Some people just like smoking because it helps them breathe because they don't feel like they have good breathing technique. And then
Yeah.
some people are just some people just need that moment to where they just need to be away from people to be like, okay, what the fuck is going on. They need to write stuff down. But like, there's so many different things for people that we can tell them, hey, do therapy, go try maybe try getting on meds if it helps, try doing X, Y, and Z. But if we don't let them take those opportunities to really try and go and do those things on their own, like it's like beating a dead horse. Like
Yeah.
I hate to use this analogy. It's like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. It's the same thing with
I love that saying.
it's the same thing with loving and caring for people. Like if I could personally, I would love to prevent every hardship I can for every single person, tell them how to do it or tell them my success stories and how I got through this stuff, and hopefully it works out for them 100% of the time. But at the same time, if I keep telling somebody or keep helping somebody and they're not really like doing whatever they need to get out of there, they're not going to really learn for themselves. And like depression is one thing, like where it's like on and off, but if they're not seeking help for that depression and I have to keep being there for them, being in their therapist, I don't mind being a friend and being there to love them, but they need to take care of themselves and try to find a way to get out of that. And me beating into them like you need to find a therapist, you need to go like find a psychiatrist, you need to do a breathing mechanism, or you need to fucking smoke a joint or something. It's not going to do much because if they don't want to get out of it or they're not going to try to get out of it, they're going to be just relying on you 24/7. And that goes back to like offering help to people. Like it's one thing to offer help to like the closest friends you have, like your husband, like maybe like Vit or whoever you may know. But then if we start helping other people out, like through the streaming world, whether it's like, hey, if you're having a hard time, like I don't mind reaching out when I can or when I have availability. Because if I tell them, hey, if you need anything, let me know, and they reach out to me and they keep reaching out to me, and I'm just now like their emotional support baggage, it's not going to be good for me because I'm going to get exhausted. But at the same time, I'm not taking care of myself, and then they're relying on me all the time.
True. So I guess I wasn't really thinking about that in depth when I say I like help people. So
Mm-hmm.
it is mostly like if you want to vent or whatever, because you are right.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't help someone that doesn't want to be helped, and you really do have to get to that stage
Mm-hmm.
where you're willing to accept help, listen to advice, and take that on. So like you can't be there for someone like emotionally so much like that. When I say it to like random people, it is really like if you are having like a truly hard time, you don't have anybody, like hit me up and like I'll be there. Hopefully it doesn't become one of those things where I'm like they try to, rely on me like forever because it does suck. Like it makes me think as we were talking, it made me think, have you seen the video where they've got it's like stick figures, they got it looking like they're like grayed out or whatever, like super sad. They
Mm-hmm.
come over, they take a little bit from them so that they can go frolic, and then they keep doing it, and then at the end they're just like this depressed, you know
Mm-hmm.
shaded person. I don't
No, yeah, yeah,
whatever.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's going to end up being like, because you can't take all of that. Even I realize that when I am there emotionally for like my family when they need it, for certain friends and stuff like that, even I know it gets draining. and I continue doing it because it's like it's something I'm used to. I've always done it. Like, you know, my mom was like really sick.
Mm-hmm.
She passed away. I was like that rock for everybody. So it was like, I wasn't not I don't think I wasn't allowed to be depressed, but
Mm-hmm.
when you're relied on so much, it's like
You feel
I
like you
can't.
have to be the strongest person in that area.
Yep. It's like you can't break. So it just kind of went with me through life, and now I'm like, like you are right. You can't force somebody to do something. They have to want to do those things, and sometimes you have to set that boundary. Like, I want to help you, but
Mm-hmm.
I can't kill myself in the process trying to do that, because that is what ends up happening is
Mm-hmm.
you put too much of yourself out there.
No, absolutely. Like to even share a story like how you went through with your mother when my dad passed away. Uh, it was one of those weirdest times in my life. Like I just got into ministry school. And so everybody expected me to be like this pastoral figure kind of thing. So when my dad passed away, even though it was my dad, I felt like I had to run the service. I felt like I had to get everybody together. Felt like I had to do X, Y, and Z. And like I was at the I did the service for my dad. I couldn't even cry because I was just so like hardwired exhausted from just getting everything done. Like I was more like I have to get this done. I have to make sure the server's going to do that. And even after like my dad passed away, I it took me almost a year to really start like reeling in emotions of missing my dad and all that because I never got time to do all that because I felt like I had to be the strong one. Like when my dad died, the way I found out, I was sleeping. I was working night shift. My mom woke me up in the middle of the night and she was like, "Your father passed away," and she was crying in front of my face, like and like when my parents got divorced and all that stuff like that, I had to do this mental illness where I had to mask my emotions. I had to be the strong one because she's already crying. Like I don't have time.
Mhm.
I don't have time to cry. I have to take care of her because she's going to be crying all the time. Like I love you, mom, but like you can be a crybaby sometimes, and I love you. No, don't stop. Um, but it was one of those things where it was just like I didn't get time to process emotion because I had to be there for other people. Like my aunts were all crying because they lost their brother. My uncle was crying because he lost his brother. My grandma was crying because she just lost her son. I felt like there was no one to really be a pillar of like strength and comfort. Like, and like me and my brother felt like we had to do that. And it was not like we were like, oh, we knew he was gonna die. It was a random heart attack. It was just like, oh my gosh, like we just have to be strong. And like
Yeah.
there was one day where like I called my brother. I was like just it was the anniversary of his death, and I was just fucking destroyed mentally. And I said, this is like it was like the year I think the year anniversary, and I was just like, this is the first time I've cried about dad since he passed away. He's like, yeah, it's like the second or third now, and the first time was like 9 or 10 months after his funeral.
It's hard. Yeah, I the only time I feel like I cried after my mom's funeral was like when I was alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like when nobody else was around, because of this the same thing. Like it was my mom's funeral, and I did all the same things that you're talking about. Like I helped with the service. I spoke at it. I gave the eulogy. Like I made the memorial DVD thing that was played, and it was me walking around
Mm-hmm.
asking if everybody was okay. The biggest difference is that we knew my mom's was coming. Like my mom had ALS. She had dealt with it for years and years and years.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was there with her when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like that night, we all showed emotion. After that, it was like, okay. I'm like the second youngest child, but I'll
Mm-hmm.
sit here and be that emotional support person for every single other person. And, even still to this day, like when I talk to my sisters and stuff, like I don't really cry when I speak to them, especially if they're like crying, they're down about it. I'm like, you know, I, I'm like stone face, like, all right, let me help you. And then I have to process that later. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this kind of sucks.
Oh, yeah, like I for years when my parents got like divorced and I dealt with all that, my parents had we had a hard time through the recession in 2012. When I went to college, I still had a hard time like crying. I felt like I couldn't like I felt like I physically couldn't cry, and he carried over into what is now like my failed marriage. It carried into all my relationships. It carried into everything. Like I felt like I couldn't process emotions and all that. So when I became single and I just started like just doing me, and I started like finally processing through therapy and through like learning this stuff that I can be emotion, I can validate these emotions, I can have these emotions, like I'm allowed to do this stuff. Like life's been like such a weird motion for me to where it's like if I'm talking to my brother, like we'll be sentimental, but we won't really cry to each other because we're men, we don't cry, obviously, obviously, but I have a friend that I met through playing Valorant. Her name's Allie, and I love her to death. She's like a little sister to me. And she was like, "Can we do like a movie night like once a month?" I was like, "Yeah, whatever you want to do. Like we can watch movies." And she was like, "All right, we're gonna watch this movie." And I was like, "What's this movie about?" It's a really sad movie, and there's gonna be a lot of crying. I was like, "All right." And literally, I was like, just passing it over my head, like, "Yeah, whatever, whatever." I'm sitting there crying in the fucking movie of a fucking child's movie. I was like,
They fight you.
they get you. It's like oh my gosh, I'm muted. I'm sniffling. Tears are running down. I hear her sniffling, and I was like, you got to stop that because I'm doing it right now. And I like remuted. I was just like, oh my gosh, like right now we're watching an anime, and she's like, hey, I want to watch this anime. Like, will you watch it with me? I'm like, yeah. What is it? She's like, I'm not gonna tell you the name. But I'm gonna tell you it just involves a lot of crying. It's a very like emotional anime. And I was like, she's like, are you ready to cry? And I literally looked at her and I was like, you fucking bet I am. I'm ready to fucking weep. But it
Oh
just
my god.
but like it's weird because like once I start crying, like once I actually get into those like motions where I can be emotionful, I like to call it, I feel like I'm like releasing a lot more tension than just what I'm feeling in like the show or whatever. Like what killed me in the kid show or the movie or whatever we watched was like the person saying they missed their dad, they didn't have their dad and they really missed them, and I was like, fuck, like no, that's too close to home. Even in
Oh my
and even in the
god.
relationship one where the girl where this guy likes a girl and like the girl doesn't like him back, and it's just like one of those moments like I've been through that, it's weird. It's like oh my god, I didn't know how much baggage I had, and like I was like I'm glad I have somebody I can do that with where they're not judging me for crying. It's like but oh my gosh, like when we go through life and we're there for so many people, it's like we almost don't get to have these opportunities to be emotionful. Like we've always felt that we'd be the strongest person in the room when in reality we're just the strongest pillar with duct tape around us until someone tells us, okay, pressure's off, you can be you again.
Yeah, it's hard like that. You know what? I hate watching movies for that very same reason. I can't watch anything. There could be a sad commercial and I'm over there like like looking around. I'm like, hold on. My kids
So
will be like, "What? Why are you crying?" No, I have something in my eye. I can't explain like why I just cried over something, why I'm relating something so hard to my life, but I literally can't watch anything, and like
hmm
there'll be songs that they're not even like
oh
that
my
that sad.
gosh. hmm
And I'll be like singing to every song that's on my playlist, and then suddenly one will hit and I'm like choking up and I'm like, great.
I
Can't enjoy that song.
yeah, it's like well that's going off the rotation for at least 2 months.
Yeah, I'm like, thank you.
That's
I'm like, I enjoyed that song yesterday, but
mhm.
today is not okay. I get it.
That song for me right now is "Stop This Train" by John Mayer. Oh my gosh, like John Mayer knows how to sing like beautifully, knows how to play guitar, but that song is such a surreal song about just enjoying life and the process of life. And I always hate life for some reason. I'm just a cynical kind of guy, and I'm just like I stopped mid song and I'm like driving home and I'm driving in silence. I'm like I cannot finish that song right now. Nope, I'm gonna bust into tears. I cannot deal with that right now.
Like I gotta turn off the whole radio sometimes. Like I can't like it sometimes when certain songs hit, like it's not like I
Mm-hmm.
can hop back over to rap and be like, okay, like we're just rapping, we're vibing now.
Oh no,
There is
you're
where I'm
completely
like,
gone. You're destroyed. There's no turning back. Music is not a tool anymore. It is a destruction device.
Exactly. And I'm like, I guess we're just go driving in silence. This is wonderful.
Driving in silence. All right. The kind of like just I first of all, I love this talk about like dealing with mental issues and dealing with mental problems because not only, like I said, it not only relates to us in the personal world, but us in the streaming world. Because a lot of people, I feel like not just streamers, but streamers do too, and content creators do deal with these mental issues. Like I think content creators like will get through these ups and downs in lives, and I think even streaming, TikTokers, YouTubers, we all go through stuff because we're all humans. And I feel like when people are okay with showing a little bit of vulnerability or talking about their story, it opens up a world of realism for them that this is okay, that they can go through these kind of things. And I think it's very important to know in the streaming world, like whatever persona so I call them personas. So what, like Versais is your persona because like I don't know your real name, um, but when people see you on Twitter, when they see you on stream, unless it's your husband, it's a different story. They're gonna call you Versais. So you always have to feel like you have to put this persona of who you present yourself as in front of people. Like when I'm meme or meme daddy on some different platforms, I'm always a funny guy, a loving guy, a caring guy, and they don't know past that. They don't know past like my past history and issues and all that. So there's days where I have to like get off of that persona and be a real human being and really have those emotions. Like even your persona is still you. Versailles needs a day off. She's having a moment. Like she needs to just wants to hang out with her kids and her husband. She wants to do like a dinner or a movie night or whatever. Hey, Versailles is being a human. She's feeling good about herself. She wants to go celebrate with her friends or whatever. Hey, Versailles is just not feeling it tonight. She just wants to play games alone with, the girls or the boys or whatever. There's no stream. I think that needs to be a regular thing for content creators to understand that that's okay to do. Because at the end of the day, like I said, the name that we give ourselves or the persona that we give ourselves, they need breaks too. I've yet to find content creators, social media people, actors, famous celebrities, whatever, who do this all the time, 24/7. Like, I don't think The Rock is wrestling his pregnant wife at home, practicing for the next match. I don't think, Stone Cold Steve Austin is breaking open beers at a fucking fine dining restaurant with his girlfriend or his wife or whoever he's with. I use wrestling because wrestling is just what I grew up with. But even like if I pull up a big streamer, like if I pull up like my favorite is Tim the Tap Man. Tim the Tap Man's a family man. He's got a little kid. He's got a wife, and like he'll stream his like 5 or 6 hours a day, and then at night he's hanging out with his family, or he's smoking a cigar, or he's watching football. Like even though he knows he's Tim the Tap Man, he knows that Tim the Tap Man and his real name Tim, ironically,
Yeah.
they need breaks. They need times off. Like nobody works 24 hours a day. So even when you're on Twitter and you got to be real with people, I think that needs to be just known for people in general. It's okay to take days off. It's okay to say you're not 100%. Like cuz I don't think it's wrong to mention that you're going through real issues. Like you don't have to be like, "Hey guys, I just had like the most depressing thought. Here it is." And you could be like, "Hey, I'm going through it right now. It might be a couple days. Just give me some time." And people like, I don't know if you noticed this, but 99% of the people on there are like, take as much time as you need. Or they're like, hey, if you need to talk or vent, hear me, like let me know, I'll be there for you. Like I have a lady on Facebook that anytime I mentioned even just having like an off day, she's like, do you want me to bring you dinner? I'm like, do not come to my house, but I would like the food, yes. But like I think that's also important with just being open and vulnerable. Like I don't know about you, but when I follow streamers or when I follow people on Twitter or content creators in general, even celebrities, I either follow them for one of three things. They're either excelling at their skill of their craft. Like I love Leonardo DiCaprio because he's a great actor. I love Ryan Reynolds because he's personable. I love, Danny DeVito because we are the same height almost, mentally at least. But there's something relatable about them, right? Ryan Reynolds, when he goes on an interview, he'll always joke about the things he does with his wife or how his wife will make fun of him or whatever. He's relatable, and that's what makes me like him. Like why I liked him the Tap Man is because he's relatable. He'll talk about just having a shit day playing golf. He'll talk about the Cowboys, smoking cigars, hanging out with his buddies off stream. He's relatable, and I feel like a lot of these people on Twitter are afraid to be. relatable or afraid to be them because they feel like they had to put up this almost this persona of like a professional person. Like, this is me, and I have, done, professional speaking for 17 years and I never taken a day off. No. I constantly take days off. I even leave work early sometimes because I just can't fucking handle it. I'm gonna be fucking honest. But
You
I've
got
but I think something that like dealing with like these issues and being vulnerable also relates back to how we present ourselves on stream to our community, to our audience, to everybody, is that it's okay for us to take these days off and be human and be like, hey, I got to do something or I want to do something with my family.
it's important. I just don't think it's I don't think it's talked about enough, or at least from what I've seen, I don't think it's talked about enough. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think that just like when I came into it and I thought like I have to create a schedule, stick to a schedule, and do all these things. Like I just think that's a normal way of thinking, and no one has ever came in and said otherwise. So and we're not asking because we're like, well, everyone else is doing it. So clearly, clearly this is the way because no one else is like really speaking about it. So you put on the persona and you do that, and people are, I think it wasn't up until recently that I started, like I do try to be a very positive person. It wasn't up until recently I started making like shit posts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is, I'm like, why not share like the random thoughts that I have?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so maybe I lose followers. Okay, well, you're losing out on my shit posts.
Yeah,
Like, I don't
yeah, you're
know what
losing
to
you're
tell
losing on some great quality content. I'm not gonna lie. I fucking love a good shit post. But that's just me.
you. Yeah, I'm like, so, and if you don't want to see that, that's okay. That we didn't vibe together,
Mm-hmm.
and that's okay. Because I'm gonna find my community. You're gonna find your community. But I
Mm-hmm.
think that people are afraid to do that because they want to grow,
Mm-hmm.
and they want to have all these interactions. And if they start maybe being a little bit more of themselves, they're like, I might lose followers. I'll be honest. I didn't make like an about me post where it said like I had kids and a husband and like I dealt with
Mm-hmm.
anxiety and depression
Mm-hmm.
at first because I didn't know if I was gonna stick around and stick with all this. And I'm like,
Right.
why put all my personal business out there if I'm not even gonna stick with it? Like, who cares if I have a family if I fall off the face of Twitter in
Mm-hmm.
3 days? And once I decided, I'm like, I'm going to continue doing this, so let me share a little bit more about myself. There was
Mm-hmm.
like a brief moment where I was like, what if I say these things and I lose like a ton of followers? Like, I
Mm-hmm.
just had this random anxiety, and I'm like, I had to like ask myself, I'm like, why do you care?
Mm-hmm.
Like if they were only here because they assumed something of me, they had their own perception. Like it's not up to me to hold up to your perception, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you
Absolutely.
assume that I wasn't in a relationship, or that I was in a relationship, or that I did or didn't have kids, or if I didn't work or any of these things, like, and then I tell you and you unfollow me, well, that's your problem.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of a shitty thing, and I don't want you to be in my community anyways, because
I
this didn't
love
work
that you
for you.
brought that up too because I saw a Twitter post from just a random streamer. I've never even seen them before, and they said she said I was beginning a lot of like hate recently because people found out that I have a boyfriend. So I want to put it on record. I fucking love my boyfriend. I will die for my boyfriend. We've been living together and I will support him to the day he fucking dies. I do this because he supports me to the day I fucking die. And if you don't like that I have a fucking boyfriend and you were like thinking I was single and you can get with me, that sucks for you, but that's not the case. I have a loving boyfriend that loves me and supports me. And then like, I'm like looking through the comments, I was like, oh my gosh, like half the comments were like, "You fucking go, girl. Like, you don't have to like. It doesn't fucking matter." And this and that. I'm like, absolutely. And then there's like one comment was like, "People cared that you had a boyfriend. I thought people just came for like you." And like to be very real, like that's a real thing. Like I didn't realize that because like maybe it's I'm a guy or maybe it's because I just, I don't think people follow me because I'm single or good looking. I think people follow me because I'm nice and I'm, genuine, or I would hope people would know that I'm genuine. But will you be my boyfriend? Vit, I love you, but yes. Um, but being like that said, like that's something I wanted to ask like a bunch of people. Like I always like say like you don't really have to tell people your business. Like that, like for me, telling people about my depression, anxiety, that's like my personal choice because it's something that I dealt with, and I want to be somebody that could be like an outspoken person about that. I think, like I said, I think stuff like this could be talked about in a like appropriate manner. Like you don't have to put it out there for everybody if you don't want to, but people who want to know that they're not alone, I'll be the first person to be like, hey, you're not alone. I'm right here with you. But that's me.
Exactly.
I don't tell everybody about my marriage or failed marriage at this point because we're divorced. But like if I ever said to anybody like yeah I'm not single, I'm seeing somebody, and they like unfollowed me because they thought I was single, I'd be like, what? Like that's why you followed me? Like all right, bye. See you later.
People who have never had any interaction with you anyways. And
Mm-hmm.
I did. I like a couple of followers and I was like, and I was like, okay, cool. Like we're just weeding them out. Why would you follow somebody online? Like this is not a dating app. This is Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you follow someone and think like that there is like ever a chance? Like there could be, and like shoot your shot. You miss 100% of the chances you don't take. So if I never said anything and then you were like, hey, I'm kind of interested, whatever, and then I told you I had a boyfriend or I had a husband, like that's one thing. But I'm like, but you created this reality that at some point in you would talk to me and we would hit it out of the park and we would be together,
This is
like,
yeah.
and you never spoke to me before. I'm like, you can unfollow, that's okay.
Yeah.
Because that's a weird thing.
I think it's like a joke. Well, it's not even really a joke. It's a serious thing. It happens on Twitch. It's been happening for years. It happens on every kind of streaming platform or social media platform or anything like that. But like Twitch, Kick, all that, it's a dating site, but with gaming and TV. That's really what it is. And I joke. Obviously, it's a joke. It's not really a dating site, but people will build these connections and personas based on what people know about that person. Like that's what I'm not like somebody who's like, tell me everything about you. I want to make sure I'm clear on my description of who you are, because like that's not the case. Like I'm coming to you because you're either funny, you're entertaining, I think you're a genuine person. But there are people out there who will go to like a female streamer's channel and be like, oh, you're cute, let me hang out for a bit. Oh wow, I want to date this person. Oh my god, you have a boyfriend? How fucking dare you? It's wild.
No, and part of the reason why I was, had like just a little bit of anxiety before saying it, because obviously like I do want to grow
Hmm.
on Kick and Twitch and everything. Part of the reason why I did have a little bit of anxiety is because I saw some of those posts too, where people were like, I just recently got into a relationship, happened to mention it on my stream, and they were like, they were getting comments of, how dare you lead people on and thinking that you didn't have one. And she's like, I never said one way or another that I did or didn't, and you
Hmm.
didn't ask. Like that's the thing. Like you built this idea,
Hmm.
didn't ask, and then got mad when I confirmed it just randomly, just started
Hmm.
talking about it. I'm like,
it,
so
it's such a wild thought. Like it's easy to ask stuff, but like I feel like as like a viewer, like you always don't want to be like, hey, we're having a great time. By the way, are you dating anybody? Like it's kind of weird moment. Like you can always bring it up when like you feel comfortable with the viewer or whatever. But at the same time, like don't just assume everybody is single to ready to mingle. Like
yeah.
we're not here to talk to you about like, hey, what's your 401k like? Do you got any kids? Like where do you live and all that? I'm here to entertain. I'm here to have fun. I'm here to make new connections and meet new people and anything like that. But like you said, it's very real that people will build these kind of like mentalities around streamers because of how they act on stream. So like me, I'm pretty chill when I'm with my friends. We'll be stupid, we'll be adults, and we'll say some stupid shit like Fit's my boyfriend now.
Mhm.
I'm gonna propose to him in a Valorant match. Wait till he realizes it. But like I'll talk like stupid shit like that to all the boys, uh, and then like they'll just think like, oh, you're like this. I'm like, no, no, nope, don't want a relationship right now, or nope, don't want to deal with this. I'm just here to have fun. It's only for entertainment. It's a joke, whatever. So we can e-date meme, dude. Vit, if we don't eat date soon, I'm gonna be really honest. Like, I'm gonna cry, and I'm gonna take those wings back from you that I ordered you. I mean, oh, whoops. Anyways, but like stuff like that.
Wing.
So funny story. Since Vit's in chat, he ordered some wings for stream one day, and I guess the driver delivered it to the wrong like door, and someone just took his wings.
It could have been worse with all the stuff you see on the news. Just to
Oh yeah.
send this to a dark place real quick, could have been worse.
No, but and like that's why like I wanted to talk to you about your experiences being so new to the streaming world. Like obviously I cross my heart, hope to die. I hope you don't have these horrible experiences where you're like where someone's just like harassing you, like I didn't know you had a husband, like how dare you. But
Yeah,
like
no, thankfully no one has. I mean, like I said, like a couple of people have unfollowed me. There's been a few people who have liked the post and also have kind of shot their shot, and I'm like,
yeah.
I saw you like it. So, like I guess you just didn't read it, which is fine. Whatever.
Yeah, they saw your name, they're like, oh my queen, she posted something, let me like it really quickly.
Yeah.
or
I'm
or
like,
they or you
full
know
support, but
yeah, exactly.
no, like I said, I haven't really had any like negative experiences. There's been, you know, I think I had one in like the very beginning, not about like relationships. I don't even remember what it was about. And then that one that was like, oh, like you had your whole chest out and they're like sex sells. And I'm like, well, if that's the case, I'm gonna do porn next time. I didn't realize. Like, let's just move this up a couple
So,
notches. Like,
oh yeah, like shit, like if sex sells, like shit, I'll sell too, like shit, you will see me twerking on stream, fuck yeah.
yeah. What's crazy though is like we didn't build the market.
Mm-hmm.
Men built the market. Women just took advantage of it. And it's like I just showed up to stream how I was dressed that day. And I thought nothing of it, but they did. And I'm
Yeah.
like, listen, if you're not getting that many subs in one night,
Mm-hmm.
maybe think about what you're doing. Don't blame me because I had one good night, because they have not all been like that. That was my first affiliate stream and it was amazing.
You were feeling
Every
yourself, you were, you wanted to dress nice, you were feeling good, and you were fucking rocking it.
Yeah, it was just like, and I was just already like dressed like that, but it was like the subs portion. They're like, obviously, of course you got that many subs. And I'm like, these were just friends and connections. You should try it sometime. Like, I didn't expect them to come and do that. I didn't expect anything the whole night. Like, I think I created a sub goal because Twitch is like, you should do this. You should create a sub goal, or, whatever the little prompts are that does. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, sure, 5, whatever,
Yeah.
you know. So there are people like that, or they'll be like, girls have it so much easier. And I'm like, where's all my viewers then?
Mm-hmm.
I made a post one time. I was like, I don't know that this was said. I just want to make it really clear. I am a female. So if y'all can just jump in my stream
I did see that
now
one,
that
yeah.
that's established, because they'll argue about that. They're like, no, girls do. They just have it so much easier. And I'm like,
Yeah, it's such a mind-boggling thing that to think that like you're here because you're trying to show off your body to get this kind of thing and not just be a genuine human being. Like I remember when Twitch first started doing like their hot sub streams, and everybody was like getting real controversial, like this is just introducing people to pornography and they're sexualizing women. I'm like, listen, I'll be honest, if they probably have an OnlyFans where they're selling this kind of stuff, I think they already know that they're selling their sexualization. That's on them. Kudos to them. They're making their fucking money, right? But I don't think them being in a hot tub, doing whatever they want to do is really like introducing people to like porn. I think Pornhub does that pretty well on its own right now, to be honest. But at the same time,
exactly.
like it was such a funny thing. They're like, oh man, like I should, like all my female friends like I should just get in a hot tub and do this. I'm like, sure, do you, but just be ready to just people be fucking idiots on the internet and be like, oh, you're single and you're wearing a bikini, so you want to date? Like, no, I'm here to fucking entertain you, you fucking dumbass. So
You know what? Even if I had wore a bikini, where like I could show up tonight on stream and wear a bikini, that does not mean I'm gonna get a ton of views. And I don't
no.
think people realize that. Like I might get them in the door, right?
Hmm.
Originally. for the first 5 minutes, but like
Mm-hmm.
you have to be entertaining. I'm not just gonna sit and watch a female in a bikini just because she's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you better make me laugh too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, better keep me here, you know?
But it's funny that you mentioned that because like I'm one of my anniversaries for hitting affiliate for on Twitch. I did a hot tub stream, but I didn't get like a real legit hot tub or an inflatable pool. I took the computer into my fucking bathroom, set up the camera and one monitor. I bought a fucking like fake coconut bra. I bought bath bombs, rubber duckies. I was like this. I'm just gonna fucking meme this shit. It's fucking funny. And the sad part is I had more of my guy friends drop subs. They're like, yeah, let me see them. And I'm just like, what do you want to see? Like, let me see the toes. And I'm like, oh my god, you fucking idiots. But like it was like it like obviously like part of it's like a joke to us, but it's just such a real thing as well to female streamers like and female content creators. Like you're right, men built these industries. I'm almost confident men built these industries because if females built these industries or if it was an equal opportunity built industry, we'd all be on different levels and different stories. But I also think that since men dominate these markets so much for whatever reason you want to pull out, like it's gaming and men are more interested in gaming, or it's streaming and men feel like they have more interest in streaming because women should be doing something else or whatever, or what kind of ever viewpoint you have on men women relationships or whatever, like men dominate a lot of what we see today. There are, not to say there's not women and they don't dominate, but men are like the primary thing you see around like the streaming world. I feel like whether it's a streamer or a viewer or whatever. And if they want to give their money to somebody who will like maybe either offer that kind of service or knows that they're doing that, that's on them. And if a woman wants to capitalize on that shit, fucking capitalize on that shit. If someone wants to give you a sub because you wore a bikini or you said something like, seductive on stream, fuck it, whatever. Run your fucking pockets, get that fucking money up, girl, and then go buy yourself a nice vacation with mac and cheese. That's all I gotta fucking say. But the same,
Exactly.
but I also feel bad because when you see people start doing that, like, for example, like the person that first in my mind is Amaranth. Do you know who that streamer is?
I've been hearing a lot about her lately.
Amaranth is probably like the number one streamer who capitalizes on that market. And she has an OnlyFans that she does like photo shoots, pornography, kind of adult entertainment stuff like that. And like I said, nothing against that. She's doing her fucking thing, fucking rocket girl. But like people see that and see that that's an example, and then they want to get mad at like three different reasons. They're like, oh, I can't grow because I don't have tits or I'm not shaking my ass. I'm like, bro, have you tried shaking your ass on stream? Next time, don't come to stream in like a flannel or a hoodie. Come in a bikini, and you might get a different fucking reaction from people. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Number two, they get mad because they see a female doing it by showing off her body because men are giving that money. Like, why is nobody coming to support me because I'm not showing off my tits? Like, bro, I got tits too. I'm obese and I got tits too, and nobody coming to my stream for my tits. I'll tell you that right now. It's not the tits. It's it might be, but it's not just because of tits. But it's like it's one of those crazy things that like people who are like a little bit more open minded, like me and like maybe like Vit and everybody else, we understand that you're not like just a woman, you're a human being. You got feelings, you have a life, you're more than just the gender that you are, or the sex that you are, or whatever you are. So like when it comes to your body, that's what you want to do. If you want to capitalize on a broken fucking system and make some money, you fucking do you, girl, 100%. But men shouldn't be mad when they can't fucking capitalize on the system, because that's the stuff that other men are fucking doing too, or they do that too. Like, it just mind boggles me. I wish people would fucking oogle me for my fucking body, and all I get is the boys are like, let me shove my face in your beard, and I'm just like, that's not even like sexual. Like, what is this? But like, I love them to death because they're my friends, and I know they're just they're loving on me and showing me support. But like, it's one of those things where it's just like, it's weird because I always have this preconceived notion that I not that I want to feel bad for women, but I feel like I hope that they don't get this like into this world and be like, okay, who's gonna sexualize me first, and who do I have to get pissed off at first? It's like, it shouldn't have to be like that, but unfortunately, it does exist. And like how Vit said, men on the internet are creepy as fuck, dude. Like, I know some people on Twitter who will post like their not in like nudes, but like lingerie shoots or whatever, and just the shit that they say in there, I'm just like, you know this person, one, doesn't know you, and two, does not have any connection with you, right? Like you can be like, this is hot, or you'd be like, you go girl, or whatever. But like there was one dude I saw, he was like, yeah, baby girl, you get undressed for me, or you do that, like get on your knees. I'm like, bro, what? I don't think she's going to her comments like, oh my god, did you see what he said? Oh my god, I gotta hit this guy in the DMs. Oh my god.
I know it's super weird what females experience, and it's kind of one of those things like some of us do post that stuff. Should we, do we deserve to have those types of comments? No, but like, it is what it is. It's like going into a video game and having someone tell you to go kill yourself. Should you have that happen to you? No. But it's been normalized and it's going to take a while for it to stop. But it's also like there are double standards too, right? Like if I
Mm-hmm.
started twerking, I can't twerk. For the life of me, I can't twerk.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm jealous as fuck. But if I started doing it, people will be like, "Oh, well, this is why, you're getting all of these subs and stuff." Meanwhile, I do see tons of guys. I'm going to twerk for subs. If I started saying, and I'm not like calling anyone out, I'm just talking in general, like
Mm-hmm.
the horny gang thing. I've seen that quite a few streamers do that. If I said that, if I was like as a female, if I was like, "Oh, like horny gang, like come in here," and like I marketed off of that, like again, like that would be a thing. They'd be like, "Oh, well, you're only doing it because you're female." So it's like funny and it's hilarious when you're a guy, but as soon
Mm-hmm.
as you're a girl, it's like it's sexualized. I'm like, why can't I say it and just be funny? Like
It
I think it's
yeah.
funny too.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like it's such a double standard, but it's also like a dual-edged sword. Like I think men have it easier because because our side of the dual-edged sword may be like a lot duller. Like I feel like I said, I feel like if women were to say something sexual or try to like show off their body or whatever, like it's such a hard thing. Because like if I say, because I have no room as a guy. Like if I showed off my body sexual, like I don't want anybody commenting sexually. Like I'm just feeling me. I'm doing this. No, because like if like I have it a little bit easier because there's not many people except for my friends who are gonna say like stupid sexual things. Like I've yet to experience like a female coming onto like a nice photo I said and is just like, oh yeah, let me shove your face in my tits or something stupid like that. Like trust me, if any female said that, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on here? Hold the fuck on. But like women have it a lot harder because like I feel like if you did that, you like not only like did my like contradicting myself where I'm like saying like you shouldn't be like expecting this kind of thing. Like if you know you're attracting the horny gang, you should be ready for what the horny gang has to bring. But I can't say that in the same tonality because like I'm wearing like a bulletproof vest almost, and you're like ripping off your armor because men are fucking creepy people on the internet over fucking women. For why? Because they can't do it in public and then they have maybe this sense of like security they can do it over the internet. Like what's the worst? They block you.
I know. Go to the next girl. It is funny though that like they don't even go to DMs, right? It's just straight
On the
on the comment, and you're
comments.
like, we all see you, bro. Like what? Like
Mhm.
you really had the confidence to type that. You read it, you thought about it, and you still hit send. I'm like, whatever confidence you have, like I want some of that. Like that's
Dude,
the type of confidence I need.
I need confidence like that just over my own self. I take a picture of myself. I'm like, this shit's just going on the internet. I don't thinking I look good, but like then I'll get like someone like Waffle or like Vid or whatever be like, hey yo Poppy, let me see some of that beard. Let me see that chest hair. And I'm like, all right, thanks guys. Thanks for making me feel better about myself. Thank you. But like I said, it's such a hard thing, and like I said, that's like another reason why I was excited to talk to you because not only do I get to see it like the perspective of someone who's newer to the streaming world, who's new to Twitter, new to all this, and they're kind of like what they've saw and experienced, but like I don't get the full experience from being a female because obviously number one, I'm not a female. I think we can just clear that out right off the board. Like if anybody was questioning if I was a female or not, congratulations, answer revealed. I'm not. But like I feel like different females have different experiences. Like some female may like that horny gang kind of attention because they know nothing's going to come from it. Some people absolutely hate it. Some people have horrible experiences, and I just like this is just my perspective of it. Like my best friend is her name is Playtown, and you've probably seen her on Twitter and like through streams and all that. And like she's married and she's not very much like a I hate to say she's not very like girly girl kind of person. She's one of the boys, and we always and she admits that and she says that, but she's still a female, and she's still and I always like would always hate if something were happening where someone just like overly sexualizes herself, and I like luckily from what I can remember, I don't think we've ever had those kind of experiences for her. But like I said, I know other females who have gone through these things where they're like they dress up real like not revealing, but I guess revealing would be like a the word I can only think of right now. So like whatever it is, whether they're showing off their goth net like style tops, or they're wearing like their makeup or their collars or whatever there is, and they're just feeling themselves. They're not even trying to be sexual, and then someone sexualizes on that. Like if I were to dress anything like sexually revealing, like I don't know, like I don't think I would have that horrible of a reaction or response from people, let alone they just do it because either they're feeling themselves, they're having a good night, or that's just their normal attire. And someone's just like, "What up, goth mommy?" Like sit on my face. I'm like, "What?" Like you just met this person like 3 seconds ago. What the? How the fuck did you come up with that in 3 seconds?
I know, like, and they don't build, I mean, I don't think any, I don't know if there would ever be like a time where you really get to know someone and it's like acceptable to joke quite to that extent. But like some of the things that your guys friends say to you, like I feel like I could build a really good like relationship with Vit or Bubba's, but they could never come and say that on like mine or something like that on mine or
Mm-hmm.
another females because of the reaction they get. So like even if you build that type of relationship where you can like joke with them
Mm-hmm.
online, it will never be perceived well. So it's like it's weird and it's funny, like all the different double standards and double-edged swords that there are, because even if you are like okay with that type of talk and like you're joking with each other, there's always someone else that's going to come in and be like, oh my god, did you just say that to her? Like who are you? Like you can't say that,
Mm-hmm.
and all this shit.
It's such a like I said, it's such a weird thing. Like men have a double standard when they're just being genuine, because like I don't know if you've experienced this like on Twitter, but like it almost perceived for the most part that most females will always go to another female's back when there's like a weird comment in the comment area. Like I think like generally most people will defend somebody if they know they're genuine. And if they see something creepy, I'll be like, bro, what the fuck is this? Like go get fucking help. But like when it comes to females, like I remember like I said, I know a few people who do like OnlyFans and all that. So like they'll post like their thirst traps. Like I had one that posted one for, you know, Star Wars Day, and they wore like a stormtrooper helmet and like a nice outfit and all that. And my natural reaction is just to be a fucking goofball and just be a fucking joke and just like say jokes. So like they wore a stormtrooper helmet. I'm like, damn, I guess you missed your shot with me. And I posted a picture of like a stuffed animal, but here's Fred, and you know, Fred will gladly be like, will talk to you. You know, obviously it's a joke, but someone was like, "How dare you, you know, make fun of her for doing this?" And then she was like, "He wasn't making fun. He was saying like a simple joke." And like
Yeah,
even nowadays, I'm like, I'll just like it. I'll be like, you know, do your thing, girl, or whatever. And they'll be like, "Oh man, I really miss when you joke on my timeline." I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't really miss, you know, being harassed by somebody who doesn't fucking know me and know our relationship."
exactly. That's why I don't like I don't comment first. Like if I see something weird, I'm like, okay, that was weird,
Yeah.
you know. But if the person who like posted the picture or the status or whatever it is, if they don't say anything to them and they're not like in this deep, argument or whatever, I'm like, that's none of my business because they
Absolutely.
could just be joking.
Yeah.
And I don't feel the need to put myself in every sort of Twitter drama there is.
Yeah.
Like my friend Mombi, like if I saw something, like I know she's married, I know she got kids. If I saw somebody come and like comment some weird shit on her picture, I would like message her first. I'd be like, yo,
You
is
know
this
this guy, you know this guy, or you know this person.
yeah? And as soon as she said no, I'd be like, all right, cool.
Free reign. Let me just load in my ammo. Hold on.
Exactly. And you know what? I would do that same thing for like guy connections that I made. Like I'm not going to like put myself into drama that that's none of my business.
Hmm.
But like you need help. Tag me in. I got you.
It's like
Cuz
It's like, listen, I don't want to get you involved, but this is some stupid shit happening. You're like, bet I'll fucking get on this. Tag me in, take a 20-minute break, and then you can come back in.
Exactly. Cuz you know, like I keep saying, like I want to grow, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to like quit doing this. Like I don't, you know, like some days I do and I'm like, oh fuck this. Like, you know, my
Mm-hmm.
mental health gets the best of me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also, you know, I'm not so dead set on like making this a career that if you were like, I can't say anything without getting backlash, but like this person is really just, you know, like saying a ton of shit on my post. They're like, you know, whatever, for whatever reason you don't block them. I'd be like, that's fine because I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll make friends or I won't, but
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to talk to my people like that, you know.
Absolutely. And I
But like I got to be tagged in first. Like I'm not,
yeah, you're not
not
gonna
ready
be
to
the first one jumping into the mosh pit, but you know, if you need me, I'll be there. Just let me know. Like let me know this is a
exactly.
legit issue and not just some stupid shit I gotta like see on the internet again today.
Yeah,
So
that's too much.
exactly, like it's like it's not your fight, but if my friend was going through a fight and they needed some help or they like this was some stupid shit, you know, I'll ask them like, do you need me to, you know, you need my fucking help? I'll fucking come in there with my 5'6" hairy ass and I'll fucking, you know, I'll fucking lay the smack down.
You know, it reminds me of when I was in like I was young, I was like a teenager, and
Mm-hmm.
my friend got in like a physical fight with somebody, and they were like, "Why didn't you jump in?" I'm like, "What do you mean? Why didn't I jump in? It was a 1v1. I ain't jumping into that.
Yeah,
Like
you can't handle a one
you
v one. You shouldn't have jumped into a one v one.
exactly like I got you. I'll pick you up." And she's like, "Well, you could have fought the friend. Fuck, I'm gonna do that for? Like,
Yeah,
this not my fight." You
listen.
know, as soon as it's a 2v1, like until it's a 2v1, you're on your own. I will pick you up. I won't let it get to a point where it's like you got to go to the hospital or you're like getting real fucked up. But it's not about to be like the opposite. Like it's a 2v1 on our side. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not about that. Like
No,
you
no.
chose them.
Yeah, if you're gonna start a 1v1 fight, if you're gonna fight with somebody, fight with them on your own level. If somebody else tries to jump in, or someone else tries to like get like take the advantage, that's when you can like jump in. But like if it's just a 1v1, nah. If my friend's getting their ass kicked because they picked the wrong fight, they're getting their ass kicked because they picked the wrong fight. Sorry,
Like
but
you
not
go
sorry.
through today. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you gotta learn not to fight with them or pick up some fucking muscle. One of the two.
Exactly. Like I'll tell people, you know what's funny? It was like, you know, I talk shit. And, you know, I try not to like be mean to people. Like I'm not gonna go out of my way to like just be mean and bully people and stuff like that. But if you start some shit with me, like I'm gonna talk shit and people will be like, well, what happens when you get your ass beat? I guess
Mhm.
I'm gonna get my ass beat. I tell you, that's not gonna stop me. Like I'm not learning no lessons today. Like if it was that big of a deal to you that you like started some shit with me, but that you didn't like what I had to say, so you whipped my ass, well, that's fine.
Mhm.
What I said still true though. And you're gonna
Absolutely.
think about that.
Exactly. So I got one last question, and then we'll kind of like start wrapping it up. And this question is going to be kind of like one of the more harder questions I kind of could think of. Like I think like in general, like the questions we had were like some real eye opening ones, or some of the talks we had were really eye opening. But this is something I've been seeing on Twitter, and I know you kind of mentioned it previously. I think probably earlier in the stream. I honestly we've talked so much I could barely remember half the shit I said today, so it's
In a
fine.
minute.
It's been a minute, but like people being offended by other people's opinions, like, and I'm not talking like political opinions, I'm not talking about like, oh, who's your favorite football team, but I'm talking about like streamers and streaming and being a viewer and chatter and supporter. Like I have seen some people like start being a little bit more outspoken about like some controversial opinions, like just because I don't come into your chat doesn't mean I don't support you. So when you're mad at me that I don't see you in chat, like, why are you mad? I still support you, I still retweet your stuff. Or like, people need to realize streamers or viewers have lives too, and this and that. And then like people will counteract like, I shouldn't like one of my favorite ones I've been seeing, and it's like I even had to like have a heart check moment myself on some of this stuff, was that like people showing off their success on Twitter, like whether it's getting followers, getting subs, getting rated, whatever it may be, right? I have no issue with people showing their success on Twitter, right? That's the reason, like, I mean, that's not the reason why it's there, but like, you want to show the community what you're doing. You want to show people who follow you and support you, like, hey, we're hitting goals, we're hitting milestones, we're doing this and that. There's nothing wrong with that personally, right? But people who, what I call Harvey Dents, the two-faced fake people in the world, the ungenuine ones, they're doing it too. And like the same thing when it comes to doing giveaways, or like when you're like, hey, like I want to raid people with these many viewers, like let me know who we should raid and all that. I always get like gut feelings because I see bad people doing it, or I see the people I think are fakes or two faced kind of people. And like when I see like people who are genuine doing it, it's such a rough moment because like I know they mean good by it. It's like, hey, I want to give back to the community. I want to like, like we're looking for people to drop subs to. Like, let me know who will like really needs it. And like I'll have like a moment where like, fuck, I know you're genuine, and I know you have the purest intentions at heart. And it's like a gut wrenching moment for me because I see other people who I don't think are pure at heart do it for the farming views and attention. And then I feel bad for like having like this negative view of them doing it because I'm like in the back of my mind, I'm like I really want to be like meshing like, hey, please don't talk about doing this. This is so fucking cringe. Like stupid people are fucking doing this right now. But like I shouldn't stop people from wanting to do good for the community or for Twitch or Kick or whatever it may be because some other bad people are doing it. And then it gets to a point where like people are like, you shouldn't have to show, you shouldn't have to talk about like gifting subs, just do it. You shouldn't have to talk about like donating or like rating people, just fucking do it. And this isn't that. And like I said, and to a degree, I'm like, I'm kind of the person who's like, yeah, like if you practice what you preach, you shouldn't have to do it. You shouldn't have a problem doing it like off Twitter as much as just doing it, right? But at the same
Mhm.
time, I know they're just trying to do it because they want to show support back and they want to be like grateful for what they came from. But then you get people on like both sides of the spectrum and they're just like fighting each other. Like you have one group that's like, don't show support, like don't talk about it, like you could just be grateful. And the other is like, I shouldn't be like castralized or like I shouldn't be attacked for just showing support and this and that. And then you like it's just a back and forth thing. And like everybody's like in their super feels about it. Like I like I said, and I'm guilty of it too. Like I'm in my feels because I'm like, I have no problem with you showing support. I know it's my fault because I see bad people do it, so I just don't want you to do it because I don't want to like see that, but like that's on me. But then when it comes to like people who are like, I have this many viewers, I want to go raid them. Like, who should we go raid? I'm like, bro, just you could literally just go to a search bar and be like, Fortnite. There you go. Call of Duty. There you go. And like I said, like there's some people I don't really know, so I can't like really give them that benefit of a doubt to like really like, oh, you're genuine or you're not. What is your opinion when it comes to people kind of like bickering back and forth about just stuff like that, like whether it's gifting subs, rating people, talking about giving back to the community or all that? What is like, and when you see it on Twitter, like what is your opinion when you see this kind of stuff?
Try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt because, like you said, I don't know everybody, and I don't, not everybody I've gotten to know like personally,
Mm-hmm.
but I do think, there are some people that are masking, like I've seen people say, "Oh, I'm gifting subs to small streamers. I'm helping them out and da da da," and they'll give them like 5 subs, and then they'll turn around and give like 100 subs to somebody who is already gotten like 1,000 subs that month. And it's like, it's your money, right? Do what you want. Like, we don't care who you support.
Mm-hmm.
What we care about is you masking it as you helping small streamers because you're not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, you gave me 1 sub. I'm so glad I can go turn around and buy my half a Starbucks coffee now.
Right.
Like, I don't expect you to, and like, I consider myself a small streamer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't consider someone who's making a living doing this a small streamer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm new to this, so maybe my like thought process is wrong there, but if you're making a living, like I don't think you're a small streamer anymore
Yeah.
in the kick world. I honestly think that like a lot of that is farming views, and I think that it's kind of a terrible thing to not I shouldn't say terrible. Some people do really have just good intentions, but now you have to pick somebody, right? Like if I'm getting 100 viewers and I'm like, tell me who deserves it, and then I pick out of everyone, that's being listed, I pick Vit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the other people didn't deserve it. Just like go and be genuine, like find somebody who has a low viewer count and
Just yeah.
raid to them,
Yeah.
like change their night because that person who has like 0 viewers, 3 viewers, 8 viewers, they're
Mm-hmm.
probably contemplating quitting. They're
Mm-hmm.
probably sitting there like, this isn't worth it. Like, I don't know why
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing this. Meanwhile, you're on Twitter, like, who should I raid? Literally anybody. Or they're
Mm-hmm.
like, who deserves subs?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to make a difference, go find someone who's a new affiliate. Go
Mm-hmm.
find someone with a low viewer count that has, that's an affiliate now, and just sub to them. If you want to make the post though, like, make the post. I don't see like the point in bickering and arguing. Like, have a conversation about it. Like, see
Mm-hmm.
each other's views and be respectful that, like, that's their view. Because I'm not out here, like, I'm willing to share my thoughts on it and what I think and all of this, but like, I'm not out here to push you to change what
Mm-hmm.
you think and your view, because that's entirely too much work.
Yeah.
You're going to take what I said, you're going to learn from it, and you're going to make your own opinion, and if you want to change that, that's perfectly fine. And if you don't, that's cool too.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the people that are doing it just to, increase their viewer count, or they're like, I'm going to, if you like, share, follow me, sub to me, do all these crazy things, like, I'm going to give back to the community, and then you give like 5 subs, like, let's be real, like, you're just trying to get more subs for yourself, you're
Mm-hmm.
making a living, and then you're not actually giving back. You're not required to give back as a
Mm-hmm.
streamer. Like, I don't think you are required to give back. Some of us do it
Absolutely.
because we truly enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
So just do that and be honest,
Mm-hmm.
but don't get into like my friend Mombi has been sharing some posts lately because
Mm-hmm.
she sees,
Mm-hmm.
and she's getting tired of it too. Like, a lot of small streamers are getting tired of seeing that, where they're like, these bigger ones are like, we're changing lives, we're gifting so many subs, and it's like, no, you gave one small streamer 5 subs,
Mm-hmm.
and this big streamer who's making $12,000 this month 100 more subs.
No,
Like,
I
I
I I
see
agree.
why you need to make $12,000 a month. Like, that's amazing. Like, do you? And I don't shame anybody for making that much. Like, that is incredible. Just stop saying that you're changing like small streamers' lives. You're not. You're not
Mm-hmm.
helping.
I think there's like a point where there still might be good intentions, but you could definitely tell that it's a farming tactic. Like, they're trying to get Twitter followers, Twitter views, Twitter reactions, whatever it may be, or they're trying to get more follows on Kick or whatever. And I think me and Vic kind of talked about this, and Vic even said like growth raids versus making someone's day raids. He'll pick the second one day out long. Absolutely. Like, I would rather like be in my game category. Like, if I'm playing like a kind of a more unique game, like I have been, like Pokemon Infinite Fusion, and I see somebody lower streamer and I want to make their day, and I can even just give them like 5, 10, or 15 viewers. I would love to do that, because you know that moment might be something special for them. And I don't like, I could always raid my friends. It's easy to raid my friends, but to make a difference when you can make a difference, just make a difference. Like, you don't have to like reach out to Twitter like, all right, Twitter world, who do we need to raid today? Like, there's literally a search bar on Kick. Pick any category you want. Like, all right, let's do something random. Like, I want to raid something with someone in the name where they have the name Beard in their name. Type in Beard. See how many fucking streamers have a beard in their fucking name. It's not rocket science, and it's not like I said, it's hard for me to keep talking, because like I understand like their viewpoint, because like they're still trying to grow their Twitter, they're trying to grow everywhere else, and this helps them grow, and this and that. It's just, but they're also trying to do a good thing. Like, it's like, yeah, I get what you're doing, but like at the same time, you don't have to, because what you're doing is you're gathering attention from people who are giving you a false support, and once they realize they're not going to get anything from you, more than likely, why would they still support you?
Exactly. I
Because
was gonna say, like, how is that any different than the follow for follow? Like, you're just not following them back.
yeah,
You're increasing your view count or your follower
it's
count.
it's it's what I like to call, it's follow for lottery, and like the person who's doing the lottery is getting the attention, the follows, the whatever, and the people are going into basically a lottery, whether they follow them or not. Of like, hey, you got to do or like, hey, follow, like, raid me, sub me, do this, do that, and then when they don't get anything, that follow goes away. So like, why, like, it's not that like, not like why do you post it, but it's like, when you do that, you're putting yourself up like a dual-edged sword, and you're gonna get people who may be genuine, but you're also gonna get a lot of people who are not genuine, are just there for your raid and just there for your subs. And what you call life changing is doing nothing for you, because you're going into somebody who doesn't care about you and what you bring to the table. They just want those numbers, and that's a lot of people on every platform. So like, you could just go, like, here's the thing. The worst thing that happens when you raid someone that you don't know, just finding in the search bar, is that what you find out that they may not be the coolest person in the world, and like, all right, you just don't go back there again.
Exactly. I try to watch, sometimes I'll watch them for like a few moments and be like, is this, is this somebody that I want to raid? And go from there. Or, sometimes I'm just tired and I'm like, hoping for the best, guys. I've never watched this person before in my life.
Yeah.
Let me know, we won't raid them again. I rated I think his full name on Kick is like Wiz the Kid.
Mm-hmm.
And he thanked me like so many times because I was his first host. And I
Right.
was like, that's crazy. Like you deserve it. I've been in his streams before. I'm like, you're a great streamer. And like he's someone I'm following. It honestly like depends on the night if I'll follow somebody. Like, let's say I don't think I've rated to Vit yet, but I've gotten other people.
Mm-hmm. I refuse to read to Vit because he won't love me back. I mean, what? Hey, Vit. I'm kidding.
Oh,
I'm
poor
kidding. I'm
Vit.
kidding. A
But like,
poor Vit.
yeah, but if he was on, because like he has supported me, not just for subs.
Mm-hmm.
He's shouted me out, he's talked to me, he's been super helpful, and he's just helpful in the community. Like if I saw his name and I was like tired after stream, I'm like, I'm not looking for someone else because I would rather share my community with Vit.
Mm-hmm.
I know he has like a large, a decent following. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say large. To me, it's large.
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
you
it's
know?
it's larger than ours.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, let's move them because I know my community that's with me is gonna have a good time. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't have like the I mentally like I can't look for another person. So sometimes I will do that. And like
Mm-hmm.
I'll look at my following first and then I'll be like, okay, so I know these people are on. Let me go and see who else is on it. And I've gotten more followers just by rating, even with like a couple, with a
Mm-hmm.
couple viewers, rating to someone who had like 4 viewers or 0 viewers
Mm-hmm.
than I have with this whole like, well, not more than the follow for follow, but like more actual, real followers
Oh,
by just
absolutely.
doing that. And it's like that's all you have to do. There's so many
Mm-hmm.
people on Kick. One, you can actually filter and see who has the less views.
Oh,
There you
absolutely. It's not like I said, a lot of this is not rocket science. So when we know that it's so easy to do outside of Twitter or outside of a social media kind of platform, and we see somebody who keeps constantly doing it, at this point it's stopped being like how can we change lives, and it's like how can we change lives that gives me the best attention. Like you don't have to use Twitter. You can just go to the search engine and just pick somebody, or you can engage your chat. Hey chat, we need to like I want to rate off to somebody right now. Pick a random category. Pick a random topic. Pick a thing. Do we want to do low viewer? Do we want to do this kind of category? Do we want to do X, Y, and Z? Or do we have somebody in our community who's trying to hit affiliate? Do we have anybody that we know that needs some help right now or needs some love? There's so many ways you can gauge it outside of like, hey, I want to bless more people on Twitter by telling them I can raid them with 100 plus people on Kick. Like
when you're
just
not going to do it, you're just going to keep rating your friends, and that's what happens. I actually think uh, I mentioned before. I think I got somebody to rate Vit, and it was Dylan.
mm-hmm,
Dylan's one of those people that will ask his chat, "Who should we rate today? Who should we
mm-hmm,
do this?" And like I saw that Vit was on, I was like, he's the first person I would choose. I'm like,
mm-hmm,
he shares a lot of the same values as you. He
mm-hmm,
is super supportive in the community, like da da da. And I was like, but if you want, I was like, he kind of, he has like 30 viewers right now. So if you want someone with less, this is my next person that I would do.
right.
Even being in Logie's, he was talking about like founders badges. I could have easily been like me. Well, I don't really know how to check founders badges. I don't really know what they are. But,
Mm-hmm,
I was like, this streamer right here just got um subs enabled, and they could never get subs because of like they've been affiliate for a while, but they couldn't get them because of like where they lived.
mm-hmm.
And like boom, like went over, like did that, like I'm like, so I might not be able to support financially, but I'm definitely trying to get other people to. I'm like, you're willing, you can go.
No, I get it. Vit said something actually really good in chat. He's like, sometimes I ask for recommendations from chat for low viewers who can make their day because at the end of the day, that's all. That's all it's about. Absolutely. And like I said, like when we have the blessing opportunity to have like a decent viewer count, like 15, 20 people, maybe more, maybe less, whatever, and we can just go bless somebody who has like such a low count, it will make their day, and it makes sense. Like and even to like add on to like Vits and like a counteractive but still same way. Like if I know somebody is trying to hit verified and I can help by pushing that little bit of their viewership by sending them to help push them, I'm going to tell my chat, hey chat, this is a genuine human being. They're trying to hit verified. We're going to go right after them, not because we don't want to raid to somebody that doesn't need the love, but he's trying to push for that same love as well, and I want to support someone that I really genuinely care about. I think there's nothing wrong with that either. But like I said, there's nothing there. Like when people on Twitter go like, "I'm ready to raid this person," and they like either end up raiding their friends or whatever because they forget they made that twit post because they forget. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's like just it's not hard to gauge your chat or look in the search bar for low view counts on random things, whatever. Like even if you spend the last like 5 minutes of your stream pulling up somebody else's stream to like hear what they're talking about, hear if they're like even like talking or engaging chat, so you're not just rating to somebody just being stupid. Like do it. Like I have no problem with that. Like you're preparing to raid your community off to somebody else. Like you can, if you want to take the time to like double check yourself, go for it. Like I don't think it's an issue. But like the impression farming views on Twitter, like it's becoming to the point where it's like people are defending themselves for being givers. Like you can just give in silence. Like it's not rocket science. Like I'm not
Yeah,
saying, and
but
I'm
they'll
not.
post how many subs they've given. Like I
Mm-hmm.
saw a post recently and it was like, I don't even know whose it was. It doesn't really matter who, but
Mm-hmm.
they were like, I here's all the subs I've given. Some of them are small streamers, and I'm like, why are you
Yeah.
post who cares? You
Yeah.
know? And like,
It,
and
it,
then some of them are small streamers. Like, okay, cool, but kudos
mm-hmm.
to you. But like, why are you posting this? Like, why do you care so much? I don't even understand the impressions thing really. Like, I look at mine and I'm like, oh wow, that's super cool. But like, I don't fully understand it.
Yeah.
I don't understand the point of like fake impressions. Like, that's what it seems like. If I make a post and I'm like, I'm gonna give out subs,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm never planning on actually doing it for, any of the people that are mentioned, like, is that not fake impressions?
I, I
Why
mean,
is it important?
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like when you like, and I hate to compare it like this, like, like when people talk about like news channels, like or or like anything like that, they're like, well, what drives in ratings, or what does this, or what does that, and then someone's like, okay, well, when someone does something bad in like the community, like, do we stay silent or do we talk about it? Like most people are like, they're going to talk about it, and I heard one of the most interesting things is like bad views are still views. Like any bad attentions are still going to get you attention. So even if you say something, even if you're trying to farm or trying to be whatever, you're still grabbing that attention. That's going to get people to go towards you. Then you're going to start getting people who either like want to hate on you more, and then you're like, oh, I got haters because I'm successful, and you're like, no, you got haters because you're a piece of shit. But that's a different story. But like, it's such a weird thing because like I've been like, and this is the weird thing I feel about when it comes to like verified streamers on Kick. Most of the people that I see like complaining about like or seeing doing like these like who should we rate off twos and this and that are these verified people who are trying to be like there for like the small streamer. Like, hey bro, I want to be very honest with you. Like you can be there for small streamers without being like who should we rate off to on Twitter. I'm not gonna lie. Like I had a conversation with somebody and I told them I muted their tweets. And they're like, why'd you mute my tweets? I was like, you have no personality. You're not a human. I said I went through your tweets from like this timeline through the last 7 days. You didn't even make one post about anything other than streaming, networking, talking about streaming. Like, does you the human do anything outside of streaming? Like, do you have a wife? Do you have kids? Do you go out to eat? Did you take a shit last week? Did you watch a TV show? Did you do anything else besides streaming? They're like, I'm just trying to like use my platform. I'm like, dude, that's cool and all, but then when people come to you as just the streamer guru kind of person and not the human that you are, and once they realize they have no connection with you, because when they get to your stream, they're like, oh man, this guy's got great intel. And then they're like, oh, you're kind of fucking dull, dude. You're all talking about is streaming.
Exactly, you're not relatable. I'll be honest, when I first started, I think I did a lot of that, and I didn't even realize it at first. I was like, but once I did, I was like, all of my posts are about streaming,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not even streaming that much. So like, what the fuck if I do? Like, they get it now. They get it. Like, I stream, and I think I could be wrong. I don't know. They're my own posts too, but I think other than like me going live or saying like I'm gonna go live later, like I don't really talk about streaming. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't know by now, I don't
Yeah.
I don't I'm doing something
Yeah.
wrong, but like,
Yeah.
you know, you'll figure it out.
There's nothing wrong with talking about streaming. There's nothing wrong with talking about going live. There's nothing wrong with talking about sharing even achievements or whatever. But when that's the only thing that you could possibly talk about, it like it sets like such a tone for yourself that there's nothing else about you besides streaming. Like most people don't come to your streams because you're a streamer. Just remember that. No, and most of this information is like half common knowledge with half like streaming intel. Like if you like networking is not just, you know, hanging out with your friends all day. Like I don't think that's like, yeah, no shit. Networking is meeting new people and talking to them, getting to know them, and maybe one day playing game with them. Like not every network you have to do with somebody. Like I was saying with on the last episode with Deli, I was like, networking is literally the business handshake when you first meet somebody. You know, you get to talk with them, you get to like try to like gauge how they are with a person. You see how they interact with other people in chat or with their chatters in their stream. That's the handshake. Networking is just a handshake. Building those connections and relationships, that's what, you know, goes on and beyond and beyond and beyond. But networking isn't like, hey, you need to come to this channel and hang out with these people and do this. Like, no, dude. Like, networking is just like a phone book. You look through it in, you see something interesting, you try to get to know them. If it fits, it fits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But that's the same thing.
Exactly.
That's the same thing with Twitter. Is like, I have no problem with people sharing their opinions, like on the streaming world. Like that's fine. But when that's the only thing you could possibly talk about, it sets such a like a negative tone for you and for me as a viewer. Because like I said, I build my following and I build my relationships with people who actually have a life outside of streaming. Like like most of the people I've known, I got to know, do more than just talk about streaming. Like they talk about country music, they'll talk about food, they'll share a fucking stupid video on the internet or a meme. Like I think it was like a week, 2 weeks ago, I was like, people like streamers, start being a little bit more fucking human. Share a fucking meme or something. Like I don't know
I
how hard rocket science is, but like it's social media, not business media. Like just because you can make money on here doesn't mean you can't be a human. Like I
I
don't.
think that's where people have a hard time though. Like I said earlier, like it wasn't until I mean, it wasn't until recently I started making shit posts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like started saying like just random thoughts that I've had. But it was like stages and I did like kind of figure it out on my own and kind of told myself I'm like I'm not just a streamer and I think there are some people that just don't realize that it is okay to like be themselves. And I think that they're afraid like if they share their opinion on something, if they say what they did, if they say what they like or something like that, that they're going to lose followers because you know, somebody else might not like that. Somebody else might not agree and that's like a hard thing. That's part of the reason why I almost didn't start this venture to begin with. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like even on Facebook, I would see reels and I'm like, man, that looks like fun. I'm like, I don't see how people do that. I don't see why anyone would listen to what I would have to say. How would I ever make a big following or anything like that? And
Mm-hmm.
like we put ourselves in these boxes that we can't get out of because we can't get out of our own way. And
Mm-hmm.
like I think that some people just need to be told like, hey, it's great that you're a streamer. It's great that you like NFTs. It's great whatever it is that you're doing, but
Mm-hmm.
like also share your opinion so that people stay engaged and actually like want to continue
Mm-hmm.
like talking with you and interacting with you. It's like getting followers on Twitter. You know, some people like follow and then unfollow 2 hours later because you didn't follow them back. And like,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, you followed me when I was sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like we didn't even have time.
Mm-hmm.
But then they're not engaging, they're not interacting. And it's like, I don't even know who you are
Mm-hmm.
because like you left me a follow that's like in a mix of a ton of notifications, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like all those things, like no one ever told them. No one ever told me. I just figured out.
Exactly. And like I said, like I said, when it comes to streaming, if you don't come in with like trusted people in a community and a decent mindset, you're going off of impressions of how you see and view others. Like it's ironically, it's like monkey see, monkey do, unless you're a stubborn head like me sometimes. But it's very dangerous at the same time too, because like I said, if you're like most people come in impressing themselves off of like the bigger streamers or the more talked about people, or if let's say like this, you follow X, Y, and Z, and X, Y, and Z follows this person, you see this person keep talking about streaming, the do's and don'ts, and you're new, what else are you gonna do? Like, you're gonna Google it, you're gonna go to like YouTube, Reddit, what are you gonna else are you gonna do? Like, if this guy's giving you the clues and twos, or the tools and clues right now, why not take it? But that's such a dangerous thing as well, because like now you're coming into like 2 months in and you're like, man, like, it's not wrong, it's just not right at the same time. And it's
It's not
such a
right for you.
exactly. And that's like the whole point of this podcast, is that content creation is fluid. It is not a one size shoe fits all. You can manipulate a system and do things that don't make you happy just to make money and XYZ, but it is so fluid, ebb and flow. Like, the same thing that you do is not going to be the good for someone else. Like, not everybody needs to be a hot tub streamer. Not everybody has to be an OnlyFans person to be successful. Not everybody has to be a fucking gamer. Not everybody has to be a just chatter. You don't have to, steal somebody else's content or whatever. Like, most people will be there for either your opinions or your genuinity, and there people are going to come and go. That's going to happen. Like, I think like around this time, like around like mid-April is when I was like, I don't care anymore. Like, I want to do this podcast because I want to talk about how fluid it is. I want to talk to people that I have different opinions on. I want to talk to people who I have no experience on and no experience with, because I want to see their point of views from when they streamed. Like I said, this is why I like talking to you today, because you are such a new to this perspective, and you're already at this point like, holy shit, like, some of these people are just fucking out of their minds on Twitter. I'm being like, I had to do this, I had to do that. I'm like, think about doing this, like, think about being like 3 years on the line, and you're like, fuck, there's so many stupid things that people are doing. But
You're like,
like,
this
but
is what?
and then like I said, most of the people here that I'm witnessing just want genuine connection, to be genuine with people. Like, you can have high viewer counts and still be a genuine person. You can still give subs and be a genuine person. But it's such a hard and hard line to walk when you're doing it on social media, and then there's also fake people around the same level doing it on social media. And like, I think, like I said, we're not here to change opinions. We're here to just talk about stuff and just gauge on what's going on. And excuse me, if I could change anybody's opinion, like, that's, whatever. Like, I don't want to like make somebody feel bad or feel guilty or whatever, but I just want people to realize is that, like, no matter what your opinion is, this, number one, you're a streamer, not a full-time, like, you have a life. Start living it, start showing it off. Like, if you go out and get a fucking pizza, fucking post a pizza. Think about how people love pizza and would love to just engage, like, dude, that pizza looked fucking great. Number
Yeah.
two, this chatters have a life too. So when they're not there, it's not because they don't support you. It's whatever. And even if they stop supporting you for whatever reason, whether it's right or wrong, let them go. Let them do their own thing. And then number three, like, it's okay to have opinions. It's okay to have difference of opinions. I think that's the biggest thing in the world that people need to understand, that this is the whole point of, talking about stuff. There's no right or wrong, there's no left or right. Yeah, there's like some things like you don't do, like, obviously don't fucking, show porn on, stream. Obviously don't be a racist. Obviously don't be, fucking horrible human being to other people, because that shit's not going to
Exactly.
get you anywhere. That shit's not going to get you where you want to go, and nobody wants that in their fucking communities. What up, Tyrex? um but it's such a wild concept that people like, this is what networking is. Like, no, networking is different to different people. You may have an idea that may have worked for you or worked for a small group of your people, but it doesn't work for everybody. Like,
Exactly.
networking is fluid. Social media is also fluid. Everything is fluid. There's no buy the books. And if there was a buy the book, someone would have made that book, sold that book. They'd be a fucking billionaire by now, and we'd be the idiots reading it, trying to figure out what we're doing wrong.
Exactly. And I think it's super important, when you talk about opinions, like, we're adults. Discuss it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you disagree with somebody and you feel like that strongly about it, have a conversation. Like, I see
Mm-hmm.
so many things on Twitter that are like, it'll just be misinterpreted.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of them asking and being like, let's have a conversation about this,
Mm-hmm.
they just like quote retweet it and then you know,
Yeah, the
go into this huge frenzy about whatever. And I'm like,
how dare
how
you?
old are you?
Yeah, how like this is such a horrible take, and you're just like in the comments like, bro, we just literally had the same opinion, but you just said it differently. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
Exactly.
like I hate to throw Vit under the bus. Vit had a real like good tweet that I thought he tweeted out talking about something about like views or something about talking about supporting people or whatever. Someone retweeted it. It was just like this is this and this is that,
And
and he's just
wasn't
talking
it
about the same
about,
thing.
wasn't it about, or he might have, he has a couple good posts,
Yeah,
but the
right.
one that I thought of was the one that he mentioned, don't come into other streamers streams and like talk
Talking
about
about
your
the
own stream.
yeah.
That one blew up too.
Yeah,
And I was like,
that was it. Yeah, because he was like because he was getting to the point of like, you know, you don't want to talk about your business while the other person's doing their business. Like it should be just common etiquette. Just be respectful. If the streamer asks how your stream has gone, you know that's another thing. Like they're asking, that's a different line. But it like the people like started retweet like quote tweeting and like, well, I've been asked, I ask people all the time and this is okay. And like he's like, yeah, that's like he's like explaining himself like, yes, I understand that. If you ask, that's fine. I'm talking about those random ass people who go and like, oh man, sorry I couldn't make it to your stream. I was too busy streaming to my whatever viewers, or oh man, I had such a hard stream, that's why I rated off to you. It's like, what are you doing? But like it's so hard to gauge somebody in just how many ever characters, unless you have Twitter Blue, then it's like a million fucking characters at that point now. But it's like that. It's, you know, people do that, and he was just trying to call it those like those random bad apples, but it got misconstrued because of the so many characters and what he was trying to get across, that so many people were quote tweeting it like, well, I have a different opinion. I want to know how people's streams went. Like, yes, that's fine, but like, it's like, god
you're
damn it,
asking.
I gotta re-explain myself because I couldn't just say it like in a like, you know, another way that you could hear my tone of voice and get the full detail out.
I know. And I honestly hated seeing like all of those like quote retweets because like I've obviously seen like a ton of his tweets. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've been in his streams and like the whole time I was like, what? Stop explaining yourself. Like just
Yeah,
stop because these
yeah.
people are fucking ridiculous
These
right now. Like
these people
we
are,
know what you meant.
yeah, these people are going to be butthurt for whatever reason, and then they're going to see that they're like, well, I think I know how to talk to people who talk about streams in my stream, and then they think they're going to be the next, you know, guru knowledge of. They have this golden nugget of truth. It's like, listen, like, unless they say something outrageous like chatters don't matter, like that's a different story. Like, but like
Right.
he's just saying like be respectful when like don't talk about your stream when you go into somebody else's stream. Like it's I don't know.
No, it makes sense. Like imagine, right? Like you're on a stage like performing and then I just walked up and started like with my own microphone, like started talking
Mm-hmm.
and being like, oh man, like my performance or like this is what I'm doing next. Like that's the same thing. And like people aren't correlating that because it's online.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, well, you know, if you're really that worried that you're gonna lose viewers, like we're not worried about that actually. And if you
Mm-hmm.
want to leave, like if you think that this person's stream is so much better than mine, like go, leave.
Yeah. Bye. See
Like
you later.
be respectful. And like that was the post. And I'm like, how are you not getting that? It's like the
Mm-hmm.
post I made yesterday and I missed one word and people wanted to like blow that up. And I'm like, all right. It was funny for a second. Now we're over it. Like you knew what the fuck I meant. Like, and if you don't, then you're new here and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Ask me though.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
let's be adults and like discuss this.
either talk to me in the comments or send me a DM and be like, hey, what did you mean by this? Like
Exactly.
like I think people are afraid to talk in DMs. And like to be fair, I am too, because like I met some great people and sometimes they have like shit takes and I'm just looking at this like, what happened to the guy I was just like really connecting with? Like this doesn't match up to what you fucking like do, but whatever. And I just ignore some of their posts. I'm like, all right, you got a shit take. Bye. But like to be fair, I probably have shit takes. My friends have shit takes. We all have shit takes. But that's not what I'm not here for the shit takes. I deal with the shit takes because I'm your friend. I don't give a fuck. We're always gonna have differences. I'm here because I care about you. You're a genuine being. We had a genuine connection. And you care about me on a human level, more than a human level, and I appreciate that. We're always gonna have difference of opinions. Like my favorite opinion, and this is like it's political, but it's not. Like my opinion is like if you support a politician, you're dumber than the people who believe the Easter Bunny is still existent. And the only people who believe in the somebody still existent is, you know, little children whose parents lie to them. What up, Playtown? And thank you, Becky. By the way, I did see that. Like, I think every politician has their own agenda, and I think every politician, you know, they say I'm here for Americans, but they really are. They're here for their version of the Americans they want to build in this America. That's why I hate every politician. That's why I'm not a Republican, Democrat, anything like that. I'm literally just a person who hates every politician. That's why I don't really vote. Because here's the thing: what am I going to vote for? That person's view of what they want this area or this political thing to be. All right, I don't support 99% of these people 100%, so why would I give them a vote to show them support? Because I don't.
Oh my God, exactly. I hate politics. My dad is one of those people who always start. He's a Trump supporter
Mm-hmm.
through and through. He hasn't like grabbed a flag and like stood.
Start waving it like a second patriotic flag.
He will, yeah, but he'll send me stuff like
Mm-hmm.
randomly. He was like, "Do you know how the Republican Party was created?" And I was like, "Yes." Like,
Mm-hmm.
so he sends me an article, and it's basically like them, you know, coming together to end like slavery or something like that. I can't remember or
Right.
whatever at one time. And I was like, he's like, see, you
Mm-hmm.
should vote for, and I'm like, isn't Trump in jail? And he go to be a president right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then he wanted to call me and stuff. And I'm like, listen, that's so great, you know, that not every Republican is like racist.
Right.
Um, that doesn't negate from the fact that like
There's.
some of them are, and I am not voting for Trump, and I'm not voting. Like, I just don't vote. Like, stop bringing me into your shit. And
Mm-hmm.
like that's what he does. Like you know, he's like, I've been on social media. What social media? He sent me this like weird article that was like it was literally like if I had wrote it and then just put some random like title, and I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
you should stay off the internet.
Yeah. Like most of my opinions are like this. I don't give a fuck what you do, as long as you one, you don't harm others. Number two, you're not a shitty human being to others.
Exactly.
And number three, as long as we're all trying to do the best we can to like survive and work through this shitty fucking corrupt system, do whatever. Like if you fucking like me, I luckily live in a state where recreational marijuana is legal. I support recreational marijuana. But like if you don't, okay, that's fine. Just don't be a shitty human being to somebody who does. Like I'm not fucking shitting on the people who get drunk 24/7. Like I'm not being a shitty person who's religious still or who is, you know, who may be, you know, whatever. Like I don't care if you're gay, I don't care what you do in your free time, I don't care if you know, if you're Republican, Democrat, as long as you're not just a shitty human being to other people, that's fine. Now, if someone is shitty towards you and you want to retaliate back, that might be a different story. But as long as you don't initiate shitty human behavior, just be a decent human being. That's all I fucking ask people. But it's
And don't push your beliefs on me. Like
mm-hmm,
don't like if you want to be an alcoholic, don't push that on me. If you're super religious, don't push that on me.
mm-hmm,
That's all I ask. Like don't be shitty, don't push your shit on me. Like cuz
mm-hmm.
I don't care. Like I'm not a religious person at all.
Yeah.
I'm not a political person. I don't care about that stuff. Like should I? I don't know, probably. But I
Right.
don't. And I'm like, you know, I don't like drinking. I was reminded last night why I don't like drinking. Like that's just it. I
I
would
saw your
rather
tweet today. If anybody asks me out for drinks, they're getting it on site or something like that.
yeah, like I fucking, you know, like it always looks fun, right? Like it looks fun,
Hmm.
like you have fun, like it brings out, you know, your confidence a bit more. But I'm like, who wants to deal with this shit afterwards? Right?
Yeah,
I
no.
might not be super confident while smoking, but I'm not feeling like that the next
Hmm.
day. That's for
Absolutely.
sure. I might just stare at the screen and forget that I'm like playing a game or like streaming,
Hmm.
but I'm not feeling like shit. And I would rather do that any day.
Absolutely, and that's why I love my smoking. It helps me fall asleep. It helps me have an appetite, which for years I couldn't have one because of my depression. And that's like it's my one. It's like one of my vices. But like I'm not telling people, hey, you probably should smoke a fucking joint. You might be feeling better. Or I'm like, hey, dude, you should really support. You
Sometimes
know,
I like
yeah, right. like like some days I'm like, hey, man, you really need to calm down. I'm not gonna push this on you, but maybe a joint might help. But you know,
yeah,
maybe just taking a break too would help too. But bef-
nap.
but before we end this, I always end this on. I tell people I have one stupid question I get to ask people, and then one like, what would you like to leave off note? So before we do that, Vic, good night. I appreciate you and your friendship, but I value you too, homie. I will see you in the morning. Hope you're doing well. Playtown, welcome in. I saw you come in. I love you, homie. Hope you had a fun day at that, whatever the fuck you did. I know you sent me a picture of some beautiful scenery, and I made fun of the bench that was in the scenery. It's because I love you, homie. But so we're gonna end on a stupid question and end on a kind of like a good note too. So my stupid question. See, like I don't want to repeat, but I also have like I love asking this stupid question because it's so great. Apple juice or orange juice?
Apple juice.
All right, pulp or no pulp?
No pulp.
Did you not?
Or
Can we just talk about how you didn't even question that there's pulpy apple juice?
no, because I was still thinking of orange juice. That's why I added it in. I was like, I knew that was coming. For
Yeah.
orange juice, no pulp.
No pulp. All right, so we got apple juice, gang. I love that even more. I'm an apple juice kind of person. Yeah, fuck you. It was a beautiful bench. It was a beautiful bench. The scenery was shit though. Uh, where can we find her social? So what I'll do is before the stream ends, I will post her link in the chat. But also, since this is also going on YouTube, I will post her socials in the comments as well. But while I do that, since you already asked, we're already right here. Let's do it right now. I will do boom. Thank God I know a little bit how to cut and edit. This is gonna be fun watching it to the very end of the stream to cut this little part out. So boom, there's her kick, and there is her Twitter right here. Boop. Please follow this genuine and beautiful human being. Funny person. I love her content. I love spending time with her. But now comes to the last part of the interview. Did you say damn it? Damn it, what? Were you supposed to do that? Oh, you just shout out, but you didn't even put the person's name. It was a hike, by the way. I don't fucking care, Playton. I love you, by the way.
A hike sounds amazing, but I would not be able to make it to the top. I can't even make it to the top of my stairs.
I was about to say, like, I'm past the point where I live on the third floor of an apartment complex. That's my hike every day.
I realized I hold my breath while going up my steps because, like, I figured out recently, I was like, I'm a healthy person. I work out, like, I do stuff. I was like,
Mhm.
why is it I get to the top of my steps, which are not very long, and I'm like dying? My husband's like, do you hold your breath? Because I hold my breath while I'm working out too. It's just like a habit. I just apparently that's the only time I can't multitask.
I've
Actively trying to kill myself.
the one time where I notice where I really hold my breath are intense game situations, like when I'm playing Warzone or Fortnite. I'm like the last one alive, or we're this close to winning. I will hold my breath instead of breathing, and then like if we win or lose, afterwards, like my hands will be shaking like this because it's trying to get back the oxygen back into the flow of things and all that. It's fucking horrible. But anyways, being new to streaming, being a female content creator, being a mother, whatever you want to bring to the table. There are many things we could leave people with good notes. I think this whole podcast is full of good talks about mental health, talks about just being a streamer, etiquette, social media, so like that. But you as a human being and you as you are right now, if there's anything you could leave the chat, these listeners with, what is something you would want to leave with them?
To be yourself and don't quit, no matter if it's streaming, whatever you're pursuing, hobbies, whatever it is. Like, don't quit until you know, like, and until you know you're ready. Like, don't stop what you're doing. There might be like people that are waiting for you to do that, waiting for you to stop. But in like 3, 6, 9 months, you are going to be so happy that you
Mm-hmm.
kept going. And the regrets, wait, I can't talk. The
You're good.
regret from stopping is gonna be worse than anything else. Like, there's so much time, and I know so many people are gonna do so many incredible things, and I can't wait to see it. So, like, that would be it. Don't stop because you're doing amazing.
Absolutely.
Don't look at what other people are doing. Like, it doesn't matter,
Mm-hmm.
because we don't know how long other people have been doing something. Like, I could compare myself to you, but you've been doing this since you said 2018. Like, that's not a fair comparison.
No.
You've learned so much. Somebody that just started today could compare themselves to me, but I've been doing this for a couple of months now.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, stop comparing and don't stop what you're doing.
I absolutely love that. I love that 100%. Like I said, we're all different walks of life. We're all on different roads, different paths at different times. It's not good to compare yourself to others. It's like you can have inspirations, but don't compare yourself to them. Like if someone gets you to somewhere and they inspire you to keep doing better, that's awesome. But never compare yourself to them because they've been there for however long for whatever reasons and X, Y, and Z. Like I said, I will never have the same path as Versais. She'll never have the same path as me. We both started at different times. We're both, even though we're both genuine and we're both funny human beings, we're both different people at the same time. And that's perfectly fine. Like I think everybody has different roads and different paths. Like sometimes you may need to slow down, sometimes you may want to speed up because you're liking the road. But just know that you need to stick to your own road and be who you are. And just remember that everything comes at your pace. So if you feel like there's something too much going on, slow it down a little bit. If you want to pick it up, pick it up. You don't have to be, like I was telling Versais, you don't have to be posting 10 TikToks a day, a YouTube short, 17 Twitter posts and all that just because you saw somebody on Twitter talk about it. Start with step one. Start with streaming. Do you like streaming? Is streaming enjoyable for you? If it is, awesome. So let's go to the next step. Do you want to build growth? Do you want to build community? X, Y, Z. There's so many different ways you can go about that path. If streaming is not for you, that's fine too. Maybe TikTok's for you. Maybe YouTube's for you. Maybe just being a Twitter fucking shit poster is for you. I fucking love shit posting on Twitter. That might be my new fucking future career at this point. But like what Versace was saying, and I want to echo it. Just be yourselves. Don't compare yourself to others, and just enjoy the journey. Enjoy the ride that you are on.
I was just thinking that it's the journey, it's not the destination. And like you said earlier, if you get one follower every day or every other day, that's growth.
Mm-hmm.
Like like take that win, you know?
Yeah.
Like any amount of growth, any amount of followers, likes, whatever it is, like that's still growth.
Mm-hmm.
Take that for your win and just keep going because you're gonna land where you're supposed to land if you
Absolutely.
don't stop.
Absolutely. And even just like to add on that, growth doesn't just have to be a follower too. Like if you're someone like who struggles with like talking to people or struggles with doing longer streams and you start practicing more and more and more, that's growth. Every time you stream, whether it's a good day or a bad day, it's always growth because it's experience. You're getting to learn more about yourself, more about how you do stuff. And as long as you're open to being like, hey, I did something good today. I did X, Y, and Z, whether it was a bad day for views or whatever. You'll go a million percent every day. Like there are days where, like I said, I stream and like it may be a bad day, but I enjoyed myself and I reignited that passion for me. That was a growth day for me because I ignited that passion again. So don't you like one follower is still growth. A good stream is growth. A bad stream is growth. Experience is growth. As long as you are loving what you're doing, loving the journey, and loving yourself, I think you're going to get farther than you could ever imagine, and you'll enjoy whatever side of content creation you are on.
Exactly.
Versailles, thank you so much for joining me. I want to say this: you beat Vit's record for his time on this podcast, so you can hold that above his head. Um,
I'm going to. I'm gonna take that trophy.
yeah, he was like 245. You're at 321. I actually, to be honest, I think you're the longest one now. I think you actually beat Delphi. You have the longest podcast so far.
Oh, well,
Uh,
that's amazing considering I've pretty much had anxiety throughout the whole time, but right before it too, I got like the worst anxiety. I was like, man, I don't know. I don't know why I said yes to this.
I,
It's not even like you asked me either. Like I jumped to. I was like, oh hey, I don't know what I could do, but like let
mhm.
me do it. And like I regretted that whole thing for about 5 minutes before this. I was like, man.
No, I trust me. I get it. Like we talked about earlier. Like even when like making plans, we're like in the moment, we're like, yeah, I kind of want to do this. I want to stretch out of my comfort zone. And then days later, when it comes up to leading up, you're like, ah, shit, I really don't want to fucking do this. It's like it's scary. But no,
You have to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
I absolutely. I think as like I think being uncomfortable is always a good thing. I think being like getting comfortable in a situation that makes you uncomfortable is also a good thing. But like just being a genuine presence, it'll make people feel a lot easier about what's going on. Once people understand that like you're not there to like harm them, you're there to just, make things easy and comfortable, it'll go a long way. That's why I always try to be as pleasant as I can to people, whether it's on Twitter, off Twitter, Discord, whatever. I try to be just genuine. I try to be polite. I try to be understanding because not everybody's going to want to talk one day. Not everybody's going to have a good day or whatever. And want people to know that like I'm not here to like just steal like get you for content. I'm here because I want to get to know you more and get to know what's going on. Like the same thing is gonna happen for you. You're gonna want to talk to people, and you know you're gonna make a Twitter post like saying like, "Hey, I'm looking for more female gamer friends." Like anybody do have any female Fortnite gamers? Like, oh yeah, I want to get to there, and you're gonna have that same experience where you're gonna be polite to them, and they're gonna be nervous, and then you're gonna meet new great connections and have like new great friends. Um, but yeah, with that being said, I don't want to keep you any longer than I need to. I know, like I said, you probably want to hang out either with your friends or do whatever you want to do tonight. But first of all and foremost, I want to say thank you for just being vulnerable, open-hearted, open-minded, and just talking about your experiences like this. Some people don't feel comfortable like this, and like how you mentioned before, you had that anxiety, but I'm very grateful for the openness that you have. I'm very grateful that you were able to not only talk to me and trust me and share the stories you have with me, but that we got to have these connections. We got to bond a little bit more as individuals. Um, I'm very grateful for the time that we did have today, and I'm grateful for the times that we're going to have in the future. I hope many blessings come your way. I hope many growths come your way. And I hope, you know, just in general, when it comes to just in life, even with content creation or not, that you find happiness in yourself, that you continue to be keeping the awesome fucking human being that you are. And, you know, you keep making shit posts because they make me fucking laugh. I'm not going to fucking lie.
Well, I'm gonna keep trying for that, and I hope the same. I really appreciate that you that you said yes to me coming on. This was a really good experience, especially like I did have anxiety and like
Hmm.
trying to be comfortable in this like uncomfortable situation. Like I think you made it really easy,
Hmm.
and it's been super easy to talk to you. Like I was worried about like how I was gonna like I thought there would be more like just specific questions, and I was like
I
I was
mean,
like, I don't even know. Like, I was like asking myself, I was like, what is content creation? I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing right now. So,
and here's the thing, like I could always ask you a million fucking questions. I like just but then at that point I would just made a Google forum thing and just like, hey, fill in the blank. Hey, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. And I could just done that. But when it comes to like stuff like this, there's a lot I still need to learn. There's a lot of stuff I don't know, and I'm just doing it based on my perceptions on what I see on social media, on the news, on YouTube or whatever. Like I said, obviously I don't know what it's like for you for me to be not only a female in the content creation world, but a parent as well, someone dating somebody as well, someone who just is a different person than me. Like I'm like I hate to say this, I'm your basic Midwest white male guy. I have a beard, I have a flannel, and I play video games, and I have a little bit of an accent. Like I don't know what to tell you. But like I said, like I want to know, I want to get to know because there's so many things that, like I said, I have perceptions as a male, but it's totally different from like another female's perspective. There's totally different from a new person's perspective coming just fresh into the industry. And like I said, this is the whole point of this is that everything is so new, everything is so different, everything is so fluid for you. Like it's such an exciting experience, not only for me to understand you as a person, but other people's experiences better, but it gives me more of an understanding of my perspective. Because like I said, I see things as like just through the window glass of what actually is happening on the real side. And like I said, with more things that come out in the news about, you know, creepy fucking people on the internet or just, you know, women supporting women or just the drama or whatever, I only see through that window pane. So like I like to talk to more people of difference when it comes to all the stuff like that. So like you actually are more than welcome to come back. You are more than welcome to hang out. Um, but if at any point you ever, like I said, you ever need anything or you want to just talk or whatever, my DMs are always open. You can always send me a message, or you can just shit post. You can at me at a shit post on Twitter. If you need me to tag in, I'll tag in.
and I'm gonna offer the same to you. And yeah, if you ever want me to come back for anything else, I am here for it. And I'm excited to see the other podcast. I was kind of sad that I missed bits. I'll have to go back and like actually watch the
Hmm.
YouTube one.
Yeah,
But
Viz is on YouTube, and as we speaking, Delphi's is being loaded up on YouTube. Yours will be loaded up as well. Because like I've been scheduling more people, so I've been trying to like I might do like a dual, like 2 episodes a week kind of thing. But right now, it's every episode comes out Monday at 10 a.m. It's like a fresh in the week kind of thing, kind of get you like going or whatever. But yeah, I'd be glad to have you back. And like even like in like let's say like 4 months from now or 6 months from now, when you hit that like check mark, I want to see like how you are like just down the road, just kind of like check up with you.
Yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be cool to see like what happens, from now until then, because who knows? It could be anything.
Uh,
Maybe I will switch it up and I'll just be on Twitter. Just talking about
yeah, exactly. All right. Well, you have a beautiful night. I hope you have a great night. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will talk to you later.
All right, you too.
All right.
Bye.
Bye
Bye, everyone.
bye. Bye, chat. Say bye to Versais, chat. She says she'll come back, but she probably will never come back. It's okay. We understand.
I know. I'm making this right now. I'm like, we have this plan, and then right before I'm like, oh, that was a bad idea. No.
Yeah, like we get off here. You're like, hey, by the way, never ask me back on this ever again. It was a fucking horrible idea. I just want to do my shit post and be left alone.
Oh my gosh. No, it was great. All right, you have a great night
You have a great night
too.
too. Bye bye.
Bye.
All right, chat. Let's go to a live scene. We'll stop recording.